Hey, hey, what's up, Louis? It's Louis Son's the first comment. What timeline are we in? Holy, how's it going, man? Your slabs got packaged up today by Miss Alexis, so she has packed your cards. The mailman picks them up tomorrow morning. Okay, so those are your slabs going out that you ordered a label for the other night. And now we are starting a fresh stream with the focus on slab pricing. That will be the focus tonight. Whew. Okay, so let's turn this on. Hit save on that. Let's click on this. And we need to go get the menu. Let's go get the menu. I'm good. How was your day, mister? Not that great. Just kind of been stressed all day, to be honest. We are. Karis is going in for a really important surgery in like 5 hours. So this stream will be cut short for that. And yeah, it's a big deal because it either works and she can have kids, or it won't work and she won't have kids. So it's kind of like, it's like a thing you don't think is a big deal at first, but as you get closer to it, you're like, oh, this is a really big deal. Okay, so let's see. So tonight is going to say hot tag slabs and hot Pikachu break, quick burger chew break. Also, I would say, what else is really interesting right now? Inferno X live card shop. All right, Inferno X is the new, well, we could say Spongebob. We could say Topps Chrome Spongebob too. Topps Spongebob. All right, so we'll save it that way. I will pray for the surgery to go smoothly. I hope it goes smoothly, because that would be extremely good for us, as opposed for it not going smoothly. But yeah, you get closer to it and it gets more real, you know what I mean? It's an important little surgery. All right, let's see. So we're going to jump over here. We'll see how it goes. Okay, that's Mr. Alex is already pinged. So anyways, I haven't really been able to concentrate at all. I just kind of sit there letting the time go by. It's hard to think. Here's Brian Diaz. It's going to be much easier when it's all over, whether it goes good or bad. That's the thing about this surgery, is it can actually go the wrong way. It's kind of a newish type of surgery for a condition known as endometriosis. And they're still like learning about it, basically. So it's partially experimental. So it's not perfectly, it's not like having your tonsils out, is what I'm saying. Things will turn out fine. I know. Everyone's going to say that. We'll find out. I think the odds are much higher than it goes well. And so we'll just see how it plays out. And I'm hoping it plays out well. Chuck Norris doesn't do push-ups. He pushes the world down. That's interesting. Yes. So here's Brian Diaz. He wants the Latios EX Tag 9. What is up with that Latios EX Tag 9? Here it is. I think multiple people wanted this card. Did I way underprice this or something? Let me look this up, because it's just a normal SR. Latios Mega 079. Oops, I typed in Larius. Anyways, yeah, there's a low chance something goes wrong, but it would be pretty bad if it did go wrong. Okay, it looks like it's $120 in a 10, but there's no 9s, right? Let's see. I probably underpriced it at $25. I will have to be careful with that. I got to be careful about underpricing. I have a lot of, yeah, actually, there's one right here for $50, which is, that's more than half off. I'm not supposed to do that. All right, we'll go through with it this time, Mr. Brian. That's my fault. I'm not going to do that anymore. I got to be more strict with myself. There's this temptation to just be fast with the 9s and just turn them into cheap little cards, but half off's too much. So, Brian, here you go. It's because I have a really strong desire to get rid of these. We're going to have too many of them in like 2 seconds, in my opinion. We have way too many of them. Okay, a nice deal. People like the dude. The dude. Half off's a bit much. Where are the free cards, says David. Yeah, we should have a free card, shouldn't we? Don't we have a free card, maybe? Well, first of all, we have the monthly bounty now, right? There's Halo. We might have had a free card on my left. Is there a free card on my left? No. Thought we had a free card. We'll pick a free card out. What's today? It's Monday. Let's see. What do we got in this little pile right here? How about the garbage man here? Goop Gas Attack 8. Darn. Goop Gas Attack 8, first edition. That's a cool little rocket card. Okay. All right. Ooh. And I need this over here, don't I? I need the... Oh, wait. I need a new sheet. Yeah, so tonight this stream has to be done by 4 a.m. The surgery is very early in the morning. Okay, this one's going to say 3. And this right here. I guess the keyword can be TCC, maybe? There we go. All right. Oops. Kind of wrote that C in a huge way, didn't I? Let's go over here and set it up. There's some pretty big news out there today. You know, they released the... So today, they released the hostages. Here we are. In Palestine, Hamas released the hostages, which I thought was really nice. You know, it's a much happier ending than some total bloodbath occurring in the attempt to get the hostages back, in which, in that case, they probably would have died anyways. But Hamas didn't get, I guess, the worst outcome either necessarily if you talk about them as a military organization, because they got 2,000 people released on the other side. Like that, Tyranitar. But so that's a pretty uneven trade. But I think the point is to just kind of hit the reset button and have peace. So I hope I really do hope that works out. You know, people have to like become modern, basically. They have to let go of all the religious war stuff, which probably they won't. Based on what I've seen in the comment sections, it's not over because people seem really full of hate. But there's a chance, you know, there's a chance for peace. Here we are. So I hope it goes well. You have to hope. Anything good for me to buy? You know me. Yeah, you like really nice slabs. So let's see. Did we have anything that I thought was really nice? Well, there's these, have you seen these lists? Look at this. This is a beautiful Trick or Trade Gengar. Do you own one of those? It looks even better in that crystal clear holder. And I think out of all the Gengars I sent in, and I sent in a lot of them, only like 2 of them managed to grade 10. Here, let's see. PSA 10, Trick Gengar. He'd be from 2024, I believe. There he is. So there's one for $300. Here's this one in auction. It's already at $200. See that? And the cheapest buy now, I think, is $300. So I think that's pretty cool. We are. Let's see. Let me double check. Looks like he last sold on October 12th for $255. Now, once again, that's actually auction. So, you know, buy now price of $200 seems about right. I'm going to set him up for $300, okay? Here, I'll put him in a real nice sleeve, too, to make him more appealing. So you can see what he would maybe look like in a nice sleeve. I'm a big Gengar fan. Any PSA 10 English cards as well. So right now what we have are really big tag submissions coming back. But we're going to have some big PSA submissions, too, coming back. They're just not here yet. So eventually we'll have a PSA return. But right now it's mostly going to be tag. You can see the card backwards and forward is very, very clean. Look at that. Yeah, they're pretty harsh, we're discovering. Tag rating's really harsh on their 10s. And they've just got these beautiful cases. But that's why you see all these tags, is because this is the latest tag submission return. It also kind of gives you first pickings, you see, because what happens is people buy up all the desirable ones, and then, you know, the B tier stuff is left. Well, we're still pricing it, so the A tier stuff and the S tier stuff is right here, and we don't know, maybe Gengar's S tier. He seems to be one of the most popular Pokemon out there. So this might be one to add to your collection. If you don't, someone probably will. I might keep them. Here we are. And in fact, I'm only selling them because I got to keep these big expensive slabs moving right now. Because I got to grade. I got like a huge grading quota. So I am really interested in just getting rid of them. I also accept trades, guys. You can trade me raw cards for these graded cards. You'd be surprised. I will accept quite a few trades. Oh, wow. I think I'm out for plus 200. I'm down to pay that much or more for something else, though. No problem, man. So let's see what else we got that might interest you. Let's see. Here's this version of the Gengar. Ooh, here's this cool Mimikyu. He's nice. One of the... Oh, look at this. Here's a nice Scoop Gas Attack 10. Okay. That's an 8. Here's a Master Ball Leafeon. He's in English. We definitely have limited 10s, you know. Like, there's just... Many of the cards did not grade 10. The grading seems to be very harsh. Very harsh. So when you run into a 10, it's kind of a lucky thing. And, you know, if you ever feel it's too small or too cheap, guys, just remember, this was released in 2025. One day, it'll be 10 years old, and then it'll look totally different in cost. So you're buying them when they're young and when they're cheap. If you buy them and you hold them for a long time, they get expensive over time. This is a nice one. I'm surprised this one didn't sell. Yeah, actually, it might have already. Let me go through the messages. Let's take a quick look. Any PSA or just tag for now? We do have a lot of PSA slabs. We showed off, if you use our Discord server, you should be able to look up all of the pricey PSA slabs. But here, I've got a box right here. And so let me show you what I've taken a picture of so far. When I say that, taken a picture, what I'm referring to is what I've repriced for this month. So every month we reprice them. So here's some fantastic Topps Hollows, hyper rare. Here's a pair. You get both of these for 23. Here's a Team Rocket Zubat, Rocket Returns. $6,000 Gengar, Specialist Gengar. Look at that Gengar. Here's a English Dusclops. You're not going to find a lot of Gengars and Charizards and you know, the top tier Pokemon left because, like I was saying, as time goes by, whatever is best in this group gets gobbled up. Here's a nice Slackoth. Here's a Geodude for 500. Here's... Look at this, a Fanciful Flight from Pokemon the Movie 2000. Whew, holographic. That's pretty rare, guys. I want 3,000 for that, or I just hold it. Dodrio. Here's Zapdos. Here's a nice one. We got this nice Dratini right here. Okay, he's actually surprisingly affordable, but it's because he's not a Rainbow Hollow. Rainbow Hollow for that card would go much harder. I sent on Wise for the Tag 9 Latios. Yes, I believe we wrote your name down on it. Brian Diaz, is that right? Brian Diaz. Here we go. We've got Shedinja. Okay, we got Articuno, Fudin. So some of these beautiful Cardos cards popped up for sale for the first time. Here we are. Okay, we got a Magnemite for 500. Do you guys like UFC fighting? Here's Bo Nickel. I ought to show that to LaFlame. I wonder if LaFlame would like that. Here's Manectric 10. Wow, this one almost seems underpriced, so I bet you this one has a high risk of being bought. Here's Coughing. Here's Fudin. That Manectric felt underpriced. This was put into the box upside down, so now their sleeves are all mangled. That sucks. I gotta get them new sleeves. Kadabra. Just a few more. Now, there's actually more. I just haven't priced them yet. Okay? Primeape and Whiscash. So you have seen a lot of the expensive slabs that have been repriced for October. That has kind of been on pause for the moment. Oh, I'm so tired of these sliding down. That's kind of on pause for the moment as I work my way through these tag slabs. We're going to reach a point where we're saturated, where we've got more slabs than we can reprice in a month. We might already be at that point. I don't know, because we haven't received the other tag slab submissions back yet, and they're probably coming back soon. Samantha Rodriguez is next. She wants Suicune and Mega Latios. So Samantha, Mr. Brian actually bought those at the ending of the previous stream, so he definitely got it first. Here you go, Samantha Rodriguez. You will have $25. It's not adding up correctly. Did she try to buy a $45 Mega Latios? Is there something that I'm missing? I'd love to sell her that Mega Latios at a higher price. We realized it was underpriced. Oh, look at this one, guys. Here's a good one. We are. Now, Suicune. Hey, you know, Lewis Sutton, you know how you're always going after English cards? Look, I just bought a Japanese card for my personal collection. Look at that. That's Japanese. I spent $14,000 on that. The Discord has all the new tax submissions you got back. Do you mean like, do I report all the ones that come back? I report them when they contain your guys' cards in them. Yeah. So I'll report it when your cards come back. So I think Samantha actually has more than $25. She has 45. Here you go, Samantha. All right. Beautiful. And then we're going to flip this around. Samantha Rodriguez. So she got this nice, in my opinion, underpriced Suicune. That's a really good price on that. $14,000. Help me out here. What? Yep. Yeah, this card right here, 14,000. See that number? 14K, 14,000. Just bottom. Beautiful, man. All right. I love that card. One of my favorite cards from my childhood. But that's the Japanese version. 14,000. You know how many cases of Vivid Voltage that could buy? Yeah, Vivid. You're funny, man. Gotta get that Vivid. Come on, I want that Vivid. All right, we have a Darren Thompson real fast. Let's go ahead and rotate these. So we've already got some priced up. Like this Persian is a nice English card. Very good. Persian. Here's Myena. And here's Gengar. All right. You're amazing, bro. Yeah, I had to save up for that one, huh? All right. So one live custom, one spot in the Burger Chew break. You got it. One spot in the Burger Chew break. Darren Thompson. I bought the Zubat whenever it's my turn online in the queue. Thanks, mister. I'm going to try to start buying from you. Oh, nice, dude. Well, I appreciate it. So that's the Pikachu break. Hopefully I'll have enough for you. Here we go. All right. Pikachu break ticks upward to 8 out of 10. Okay. This is one of the most popular breaks on the channel right now. We have another short break over here that you might be interested in. That's the Dark Charmeleon break. So one live. Darren, let's see what you got in there. Here we go. Wow. The one spot snipe. That's nuts, dude. By the way, guys, I can see we got 16 likes. Take a minute and like the stream. It'll help us out. You know, if you want to have more people in here to make it a little more fun. There we go. So you got 14 Raichu. Let's see what that is. Ooh, I've got an open drink. I didn't know that. It's flat. That's gross. So Raichu. Ooh, is it this one? Doesn't have a number on it. I don't think it's this one. It's got to be that one. There's no other Raichu in here. Onix, Bulbasaur, Charmander, Nidorina, Mega Venusaur. Doesn't say 14 on it, though. I don't understand. It's probably this, but it doesn't say number 14 on it. Oh, I bet you we had a different Raichu card. I bet you there were 2 Raichu cards in the box, and there was a mix-up. So you're getting the other one. You're getting the wrong one because somebody else already took the other one. That's got to be it. All right, that's your Raichu. There were probably 2 Raichus in the box. And if you think about it, this guy doesn't really have a number, right? So I didn't say like, oh, Raichu number King of Diamonds. I didn't write that down, right? So most likely what happened was I just wrote Raichu 9. There are probably 2 Raichu 9s in the box. All right. All right, well, that's fine because this is still a nice Raichu. So that's for you, Darren Thompson. I have 0 Raichu slabs. Do you have any for me, tag or PSA 10? Whew, I was selling a Shining Raichu for a ridiculous price, but I took it down. That's probably the only Raichu I can think of in my collection is the Shining Raichu. He's an interesting Pokemon, isn't he? He kind of gets overshadowed by Pikachu, which everybody loves, Pikachu. Let's get that Leafeon now. So this is a Master Ball Leafeon. Excellent card. I think Leafeon's been on the rise lately, don't you guys think? I think I should subscribe. What do y'all think? Thanks for the shout out. You Pokemon Masters. We are? I would love it if you subscribed. We're on our way to 100,000 subscribers if you take a close look. We're really close. We're heading to 9.4. That's what we're heading toward right now. Not 9.4, 99.4. So we were real close. Leafeon, Master Ball. Okay, well, he's not exactly cheap. That is very interesting. It's because he's in English. That's got to be it. Oh, dang, dude. He's like $160. That's pricey as hell. Okay, pop that over there. Let me show you guys a nice little fast break we're hosting over here. I want to show you a quick break. $35, 1 and 2. If one person joins this, I'll advertise it so everyone knows we only need one more person. But that is a Topps pack split. You can also just buy the pack outright. You know, a bunch of people actually just bought it outright because they said, oh, that's only 70. Here we are. So I think we've sold 4 of those now. They were supposed to be breaks, and people were like, nah, I'll just buy both the spots. Oh, we do have a Louis Sutton order. He is coming in hot. Hold on, if I can get this to load. Why won't it load? Let me hit refresh. I don't like the way that works. Not many people get one channel to 100,000, let alone 2 channels. Yeah, so this is my second YouTube channel that we're going to hit 100,000 with. And this one was way harder to get 100,000. Okay, here's Louis. He would like that Zubat. He also wants it shipped right away. Grab this. Here we go. Goodbye, Zubat. Or Zubat. Don't leave me, master. My Pokemon cards talk to me in my sleep. Here it is. All right. From the rivers to the sea, Kyle will be free. You talking about that little doggy? Here we are. Oh my God. I heard Pokimane put out a statement saying she was not going to release a video that she had just had with them. And then later she puts out a second statement saying, I didn't put out the first statement. My editors did. And then she kind of implied she was going to fire the editor. I was like, Jesus. Here you go, Mr. Louis. His first channel was an ASMR channel. Whose first channel? Mine? Sort of. I guess you could say to a certain degree that was true. I intentionally spoke with the softer tone on the first channel. On this channel, people like the excitement. They like the hype. Okay. Never liked Pokimane. Not going to lie. Okay, let me jump over here to the Pricey Slab channel. We're going to find the Zubat and mark him sold. Oops. That card has gone up tremendously for me over time, so I hope it does the same thing for you. We're going to say Zubat sold. That goes. And you wanted it shipped right away, so let's go get it shipping. We got some deceptive Pokemon Masters up in here. Let's see. This music's so good. Okay, and print. Dragon Maid, Dragon Maid. Dragon Maid, Dragon Maid. Is that the reference? We used to sell that, and today I was putting together a bulk box, and I ran into some old Dragon Maid cards from like 2 years ago. I was like, how old is this bulk? Crazy old bulk. We might have to reset the software. God, I hate this software. It's so bad. Yeah, let's just reset this software. All right, we'll close that down. The stamp software sucks. It's got everyone's email in it. The Raichu I one doesn't seem like it would be in the live customs. Oh, it wasn't a Pokeshuffle. It was a live custom. All right, the mystery is solved. We're going to go back and fix that, Mr. J. We're going to go back and fix that. That's what's going on. I was trying to pull it out of the wrong box. My bad, dude. That makes so much more sense now. That makes way more sense. There we go. All right. You know what? It's because people order those Poke Shuffles so much more often. And print. Doot it, doot it, doot it. All right. One hint that I was pulling from the Poke Shuffle box is I had to go looking for the slab. You never have to look for the slab in the live customs because it's always the last slab in the box. So that was kind of a dead giveaway. If you ever hear me shuffling around looking for it, you're going, is this guy in the Poke Shuffle box? So like this, watch, see? It's always the last slab. Oh, that's pretty good. Okay. We like that much better. Now this goes back into Poke Shuffle. Boom, problem solved there. That's a much better pull, isn't it? Holy, dude. Okay, so yeah, 45. It was actually went in there for 45, the one you're talking about. And let's write the correct name on the back. Let me see the spelling. Darren Thompson. Okay, so Mr. Darren, here you go. Problem, mystery solved, Darren. I thought it was a simple numbering mistake, which is not that uncommon with a really specific scenario where you have a poker card, because I don't write down a number on a poker card, right? And this results in a card in the pull box just saying write you 9. And so if you had 2 write you 9s in the box, you might have accidentally pulled the numbered one rather than the poker one. Oops. I've done that before. That's why I thought that's what had happened. Look at that Goop Gas Attack. Wow. Such a beautiful card. That's a vintage rocket right there, everybody. Okay. Shiny yellow border. That's a nice looking Raichu. I'm out here giving you some dingy freaking PSA 9 Raichu poker when you actually had pulled a vintage fossil poker. Or a vintage fossil card. That's much better. Goop Gas first edition. You ready? He's going to be probably what you think, 60? No, not 60. What? Wow, he's expensive. He's $117. Oh, wow, 117 for just a Goop Gas Attack. That's crazy. Tempting to post this online on eBay because I don't know if you guys will actually buy this. Maybe you will, but I think eBay would definitely buy it. Have you tried the new Digimon game? I hear people are flocking to it. There's only one thing I like about Digimon, and that is they got some nice titties in there, but that's about it. Digimon in every way is like a straight downgrade for me when it comes to Digimon versus Pokemon, which is why I didn't like it back in the day when it came out either. Mr. Blake! All right, let's see. Maybe trade in some of my cheaper slabs. Want to get in that Burger Chew break before it goes off. Yes, Burger Chew. There's 2 spots left. Let's take a look at your bag, Mr. Blake. He's asking about a potential trade. So here's baggie 1. Just one baggie. It might be just one baggie. Just making sure. All right, Blake Santoro. How's it going? So we couldn't do this yesterday. I was a bit busy yesterday, but here we are today. We've got these guys. Pokemon Go Pikachu, Altaria, Heracross. Morty Smith. Is this you? Yeah, this is you. So I remember this. This was from the, you pulled one of those jumbo breaks. That's right. A little Dark Raticate, Posture Oak, Dark Gloom, some poker cards, which I already own a ton of. Pomegredient and Okie Dokie. All right, so you can make me an offer on that whole bag if you don't like the contents of it. Did you only have the one bag? Let me make sure you didn't have a second bag. Brett Love's got a lot of bags. Brett Love, he treats us very good. Okay. We are not free until Kaya is free. Imagine just wanting to get water and then you get zaped. Aha! Brett Love. Oh, wait. No. I confused the names. I'm sorry. No, Blake Santoro. Brett Love was the guy we knew already had a lot of bags. Okay, so you did just have the one bag. There we go. You can make an offer on that if you'd want, Mr. Blake. as for your slabs, I don't know what slabs you have either, but it may be possible to make an offer on some slabs too. Here we are. Here's a Deoxys Duskull. Is Louis Sutton still here? He might be interested in this Duskull. Wait, he already bought one of these, I think. Yeah, he was the one that bought one earlier. Here's Snorlax. Here's Lunala. And here's Roxanne. Roxanne. Okay, Roxanne it is. We're going to jump over here to our channel. We're going to head into All Slabs October. That's the channel. Okay, and I'll take a picture. What if we actually had two different channels, like a tag 9 and a tag 10 channel, so that if you were sure you weren't going to buy any 9s, you didn't have to search for them that way? That'd be interesting. Do you have any expensive Raichu slabs under $1,000? That's really specific. The thing is, I don't collect a lot of Raichus, so I definitely don't think I have any Raichus laying around of that type. Here we are. Okay. Here's this Dust Noir Hollow for a whopping 70. This really cute Quaxley for 20 bucks. And here is Jirachi 9. So we're going to take our next picture with these guys. Is there any status about the wrong package that got received from that enlargement company? Or is there no hope at all? Yeah, actually, let me go back in and ask them a follow-up question, because I asked them if they were having any issues with one of their buyers, and they said they were not. My messages. Okay, let's see. Now, Mr. Cyberstan, are you the gentleman who's having that issue? I don't always memorize your name and your YouTube name together. Okay, let me go back in here. Okay, let me talk to her again. Give me a second. No, that's not me. Okay, give me a second here. Yes, his name is like, let's see. Let me see if I can find him. I think it's Jordan, isn't it? How does he normally contact me? Here it is. All right, so he contacts me like this. I got to get his name. Gosh, there's so many names to memorize, and he's kind of new. Let's see. His name would be under international packages. So let's see. It was not Jordan. What is his name? Something with the G. Jonas, I believe. Jonas. So I believe it's Jonas. Oh. U Becker is the person that originally was meant to receive it. Okay, let me update this. All right. So I'm contacting her again. I believe your buyer's correct name is blah, blah, blah. Mr. Jonas. I'm so bad at this. Hold on one more time. I think it's like Jonas Gordon. Jonas Gordon. All right. So I've sent her another message. Okay. I actually told her the name of the buyer who must have gotten Mr. Jonas's cards, because Jonas showed me the invoice for it. So we actually know who it was meant to go to. So maybe she can reach out to that person and ask about, potentially misdelivered Pokemon card package. Let me go ahead and contact Mr. Jonas again. All right. Very good. So that is an update to that problem. What a crazy problem. All right. Now let's get to the next order, shall we? Hello, how's everyone? What's up, Cactuar Queen? It's weird. We don't see that guy that got the wrong package around now. It's going to be a low percentage to see those cards again, to be honest. You got to try, actually. We haven't tried. Oh, Mr. Julio's taking the Quaxley. Quack Attack, please. Here it is. I am not surprised that's sold. It's very cute. There you go. It's a great price at 20 bucks, probably lower than the eBay price. So here's this guy, Mimikyu. Mimikyu 10, notably. That's just like the Gengar. It's pretty hard, actually, to get the 10, and I think it sells for like $100, actually. Right, it's definitely like $100 last time I checked, because I think we already priced one. Okay, so this is Mimikyu. All right. Nothing popped up. Did I spell it wrong? I didn't spell it wrong. I don't understand how eBay works sometimes with its search system. I don't think it's very good sometimes. So I see one for $250. Okay, here's some cheaper ones. So it goes all the way down to about $96. Good. Found it. Okay. Perfect. Nice. Sending both of you best wishes. I hope you're doing well. I am doing well. We are. Thank you. Not many on the market? I doubt there's many on the market. That's my bet. Oh, this is the 2023 Mimikyu. That's why. So this is actually the much older one. Oh. Okay, interesting. There we are. So I'm looking at the queue. It's Monday night. We have no orders in the queue. The queue is empty. Let me show you guys what we got going on. Obviously, we have our menu just like usual. If you've never seen our menu, head over to the description of the live stream. I'll show you how to make a purchase. It'll also show you what's for sale. And then let's see, what is interesting? Ancient Origins is now $280 per pack, so that's gone down over time. That's good. The 151 surprise break is going off on the 19th, whether it fills or not. It doesn't matter. So we're up to 8. You can jump in there if you'd like to join us that night. And then we've got a fresh mega sub list because the last one went off. So mega sub list is a break that just really moves. People are highly interested in this super expensive Gengar over here. He is now 4 out of 8 completed. It's kind of scary. And Mr. Team Rocket Grunt was the one who pulled this mega spot. He pulled it in the daytime stream. Yep, it was Mr. Team Rocket Grunt. He's in there now. Probably pretty happy with that because he bought like half those spots in that round. And it's a big deal. That Gengar's going to go to one person for 40 bucks probably. So that's a big break. Still moving fast. Faster than this guy. Look, this guy can't even get past 10 spots. This guy's done 40 spots over here. This guy's done 40. This guy's stuck on 8. Isn't that crazy? So everyone wants to, maybe the Gengars are competing with each other. You know what I mean? Maybe they're fighting with each other for attention. I'm not sure. But we have the Dark Charmeleon break, the McDonald's Pikachu break that's about to go off in 2 spots. We have this TCC giveaway card. Let me go ahead and host that for you. All right. If you don't like wait times, you don't have to wait very long. Here we are, Mr. Darren, going on. Number 2, Team Rocket Grunt. Oh, Team Rocket Grunt is here. You're here. Jay Oliver. That's my Gengar. I'm calling it. That would be pretty lucky. Here, Jay Oliver. Okay, take a minute. Work on our giveaway there. All right. If you haven't done it yet, go ahead and smash that subscribe button. So tonight, we're just kind of working on pricing up slabs, to be honest. And so people might be interested in that a lot. The other thing we could probably do, we could put together a jumbo pack break, because we currently do not have a jumbo pack break. If I see any good value slabs, I'll pick them up. Sounds good, man. Sounds good. Yeah, we're very interested in moving some slabs. We're also interested in trades if anybody wants to do a trade. So you can have me grab your bag, check what's inside, and you can make a trade offer. And you can trade for any of these slabs we're putting up here. So let's grab a couple. So look, you'd be surprised. Look, this is a $44 slabs. Nice Pokemon Go Charmander. A lot of you guys could probably trade for that. I'm totally open-minded. Again, I just know I have to move a lot of slabs. So you've got me in a what would you call it? Perhaps motivated seller's mood. So Mark J. Valerian says, for 1 Pokemon McDonald's pack and 2 trigger trades. Okay, here you are. 2 trigger trades. People start jumping into the Gengar when it's about to finish. Well, he's about to finish right now. There's 2 spots on it. We are. Yeah, he's close. I'm hunting the McDonald's. Here we go. Snipping this. If you saw a slab in the pile you want me to price up first, I could probably do that for you. Thing is, when there's too many slabs on it, I also have to take pictures of those slabs so it slows down. Oops. Okay. Nice little Pikachu Umbreon here. Nice. All right. And here's a little Flutter Mane. And a little Mimikyu. Ooh, very nice. So it's the same Mimikyu artwork. That's strange. That's interesting. All right, we'll take all this and put this in your bag, Mr. Mark. Did the blue cap Pikachu sell? I believe he's still around. You like that one? He's a good one. Maybe he didn't sell. Maybe he got put down into the box. There's also this other Pikachu, if you're interested in it, which I think is probably underpriced. This guy right here screams underpriced to me. He's already 3 years old. So I like that one a lot. And you're talking about the stamped Pokemon Go Pikachu. Here he is. He's good. So we can trade our cards for any slab. You can make an offer. Yeah, you can make an offer for a slab. And it could be any slab, definitely. All right, what we got? We've got Rayquaza 9 from Evolving Skies. Okay. All right. That's 75 or 95? That's going to be 95. When it comes to pricing, we just look up the cheapest price on eBay. That's all we do. 1110, 110, Rayquaza. You ready? So the cheapest one of these would be that you can't find one. Oh, here it is. That's a different language, I believe. Okay, this one's in English, and it's about $29. So this is $29. That Sleeping Pikachu card is great. Yeah, it is. That's what I think, too. I think he's not going to last. He would be good in, like, the live customs, basically. Here's Absol. I'm about to have a long day. What? Okay, here's Absol. PSA 10 Absol 191. And he's going to run, how much is he going to cost? So he's going to cost about $44. I like the colors in the Absol. Absol is a cool Pokemon. He always has been. He's definitely the hot topic Pokemon. Okay. What we got? So there's that Leafeon. We just priced him. He's not supposed to rotate yet. Goop Gas also just got priced. We must have changed the rotation. Ah, here we are. So we got this Beyond the Gaze. Beyond That Gaze. It's pretty. It's for a niche market. I don't know if anyone will buy it. Here's that Shuckle for 50 bucks. Very cute. And here is Simisear. Cool. 12 hours yesterday and going until I drop today, staying overnight and going until 2 p.m. tomorrow. Nice. What are you doing? So this is ready for a picture. All right. So since nobody has snatched that Pikachu yet, I'm actually going to save him for live customs. All right, there you go, live customs. He needs to be loaded up in there. I want some cards like this in the live customs. So he just got snatched by me. He has been appropriated. Look at this Cloud from Final Fantasy Opus 1. Beautiful. Here's Gengar Wild Forces for 28 because it's a 9. And here is Jirachi 9 from Hidden Legends for just $90. Haven't watched in a while, mister. Do you like the tag slabs? I love them. I think they're great. I was one of the early adopters of tag grading and was pleasantly surprised by the quality. There we go. Sorry, it's hard to do two things at once. Go. We have a new mail here. Beautiful new mail. So this is from Holland Phantoms. This would be a common that graded 10. Pretty hard to get those 10s on the commons. And these are pretty collectible in my opinion. It's sort of like collecting any of the old vintage non-hollows. But they're usually much cheaper. So I wouldn't bet that this new mail cost more than like 60 bucks. Let's try it out. PSA 10, Numel Holland. See if there's even one for sale, first of all. No, there's not even one for sale. Let's see. How about sold? No, there's not one sold. So I'm just going to put up my own price on him. I'm pretty sure he's going to be worth like 65 or something. He's just Numel. He's not like... I better be careful. Let me do my due diligence here. Because I could be stupid and significantly underprice him at 65. Let's find out. So let's type in Holland Phantoms and just look up the cheapest 10 completely. Okay, Holland Phantoms, the absolute cheapest 10 would be... Those are Japanese. That's an energy card. So the cheapest, take a look. So we got Baltoy for 200. There's a Lati Ast non-hollow for 200. I think I was about to underprice him. You barely find any. Look at that. You can't even find any. Those are all Japanese. We just want the English ones. Okay, so I might have been about to underprice them. My gut told me to double check because you know this set's just exceptionally rare. All right, so I think what we'll do is we'll set this purchasing price to 150, which is probably what it should actually be. There it is. All right. My guess is 80. Wow. What we know is there's a clay doll for 200. That's what we know. All right. Here's Manectric, and he's a 9. He did not grade 10. You know why? Because when you send these in, they really don't grade 10 very often. It's quite rare. So that's a rare thing. That Numel's rare. Manectric grading 9 is what we expect. Let's go ahead and take a look at that as well. I hate it how they don't save your settings as you search. All right, I'm looking around. All right, Manectric, graded 9, and he's a uncommon from the set. Okay, he's an uncommon. Okay. This is a bit of a made-up price. I'm gonna set him at 45. I think that's pretty good. Okay. Wow, this music's so nice. It's crazy how nice this music is. So now we've got, what is this? Clay Burst Chi-Yu. Wow, that looks really pretty. I'm not a big Chi-Yu fan, but the card itself is really nice looking. I bet you it's cheap because I don't know anybody who's really after Chi-Yu. No one ever comes up to me and says, "Hey, you got that Chi-Yu, bro?" No one ever says that. So let's find out what this guy's going for. Chi-Yu 092. Okay, Chi-Yu 092. And yes, he's in fact pretty cheap. So he looks to be about $118 after. Oh no, here's one in America. So about 94. 94. Gotta be careful with that. If you see one in Japan, you have to add a 15% import fee. If you see one in the US, no import fee. Shows you that tariffs really do force you to buy stuff within your own country. How interesting is that? It is Chi-Yu. Okay, we got another one of these Gengars. I feel like I already priced. No, I priced one of these up as a 9, didn't I? What else do we have that might interest you guys? Now you guys are really interested in this Pikachu, huh? Man, he's cute. I'll take the Chi-Yu if you price it good. Yep, that is the good price. So that's the cheapest buy now on Chi-Yu of 94. There. I'm going to go after the Pikachu. Let's see. McDonald's Pikachu. We're going to choose buy now on this. Let's see. Here it is, Burger Chew. So it says here, Burger Chew, maybe about 78-ish. Let's just roll it to 80. And then let's put this into the actual, what do they call that? The Poke Shuffle. Let's put this in the Poke Shuffle because I want the Poke Shuffle to have some really good stuff in it. And I know this is going to make the Poke Shuffle much more fun to open. So I'm just going to round that up by $2 to 80. So the pricing is really simple looking. That's got to be a beer Pikachu. 1, 2, 3, 4, 5, 6, 7, 8, 9, 10. That's 50. 1, 2, 3, 4, 5, 6. That's 80. All right. Cool. Do you have another Burger Chew? I might. Here we are. I might put that one in the live custom. Pikachu. We try to keep something nice in the Poke Shuffles all the time. That's what makes them so fun to open. All right. So we're doing a little building here, guys. We're doing a little work here, a little design. And off he goes. So now people who are opening those have a chance for that fun Burger Chew. That's never a sad thing to pull, is it? How about this Flareon, huh? There's a Flareon holographic, and he's from Terra Festival. Okay. All right. Let's see. Here is Flareon. We're going to say PSA 10, Flareon, Terrastal. We are. All right, Terrastal. And his lowest price is... Wow, he is such a beautiful card, and his cheapest price is $29. That's really not a bad price at all, guys. That's a pretty good price for a Flareon. Okay, Yeah, so when these grade and they go for like 29, it's like the perfect Christmas gift or something. I think I just saw Mr. Louis send in for this card right here. Thank you very much, Mr. Louis. Do you have a Flareon Unigaba tag or PSA? You know, I stayed away from the Unigabas. I really did. I didn't like the way the Unigabas look, but that's a very subjective feeling. So someone else might really like the way they look. Can you add this to the shipment? 100%. Let me give you a free card for fun too, okay? I'm going to give you a free card tonight, Mr. Louis. How about, let's see. Ooh, what to give you? I'm going to give you the little 2D fairy from Legend of Zelda. Okay. All right. Boop. That's a Nintendo poker card. They're actually gradable. You can grade them. I'm all into poker cards. You know that. I got a ton of poker cards. Can I get the Flareon with credit? Yes, that's sold then. Okay. We'll fold that over. Let's grab this bag. I'll put this in with the bag. All right, lovely. Samantha, here is the Flareon. So you should have $16 remaining, I believe. Correct me if I'm wrong on that. I don't think I am. And then we'll write Samantha Rodriguez on this. All right. I actually love the sound of these slabs. Have you guys noticed they have a really desirable sound? Listen. They make a sound that the PSA slabs don't make. They have like a higher frequency or something. It's hard to describe it. They have like a more, it's almost like a premium sound. It's weird. It's like, you know that the plastic is really dense. That's what it is. So it makes a different sound because of the denseness. That's why it feels like almost a premium sound. It's really interesting that way. PSA has got to roll out those heavy slabs already, man. And I've already seen them. They've got similar problems to the old PSA slabs. So it could be a real long time before PSA perfects their plastic. This Tyranitar, always very popular. I've sold a ton of these. I just had a couple more to grade. Sends an offer on Discord. Nice. I'm going to take a look at that tonight and give you an answer right away because it's a slow enough night. We're mostly just doing slabs right now. So I think people are watching the pricing right now and wondering what to pick up. And I'm very interested in moving some slabs. So we'll see what we got. Let's see. Tyranitar. Yeah, he's going up. He's going up. This one's going up from last time I priced him. So he'll be sitting at about 53. Nice. Beautiful card. You know, he'd cost like 300 in English. It is. Which you'd think is strictly good, but, you know, with it being so expensive, I personally feel it's very easy for a card to go from $53 to like $70 or $80 compared to like going from 300 to 400, 500. You know, it's much harder for it to do that. It's one of the reasons why I mess with the Japanese cards. I'm Japanese, Korean, Chinese. I don't mind the language, but I think especially the Japanese cards are pretty decent. Just because Pokemon's from Japan, it's a Japanese, you know, it's a Japanese IP. So you like the Morty Smith and you like the Pikachu Go Hollow. So you're trying to turn your bag into $65 of store credit, notably, which is not the same as trading for a slab. Let's see. That's like me sort of like buying your cards for $65. Would I buy this for $65? Let me take a look at these three cards and I'll know if I want to buy it for that price. Let me see. You ready? Nah, that's got a curve on the back. That's got a white dot. These have a white dot. Okay, so that spoils it right away. These cards right here aren't very tradable. And then what do you got? Like a Palmy, a Greedent, Okie Dokie. Even if those did grade 10, none of those are fast movers, I'd say. Let's see, Pheasantipity, Piasso Bird. I like the little Raikou. Here, let me take a look at your Raikou Hollow. If I like it, we'll see what we see. Let's see. This could change the outcome right here. Let's see if he's any good. So he's in English. My first thought, he's thin on the right. Let's check the back. Nah, sorry, man. He's no good. I would say that's a bit steep. I would say that's a bit steep. Your offer is a bit steep on these. It really doesn't just come down to like what raw cards you have, but what can they actually do? What do they have the ability to do? You need like one of them to have a shot at a 10, and they'd be like, all right, let's go for it. This. All right, let me peel this back over here. Hey, what's up, Mr. Whipple? Did Burger Chew go off? Here's Burger Chew. He's hella close, man. Burger Chew. All right. Congrats. Enjoy the show, Whipple. I'll respond on Discord. All right. Cool. So here is a really cool Pikachu that has been going up in price even as a 9. It's actually Black Star Promo Pikachu Sidekick, and it's from 2017, bro. It's really old. Okay. I'm not going to bother trying to regrade all these 9s. I don't know if there's a chance any of them will turn into 10s. This guy flipped into a 10. It would probably be a big deal. How much? How much? On this little Kick Pikachu, he's awesome. I really like him. I had a couple of these, and I guess I'm grading them finally. I don't know what he's worth, though. You ready? 2017. His number is SM98. SM98. Actually, let's get rid of the 2017. There we go. SM98 Pikachu 9. Here's one for... That doesn't seem right. That seems really expensive. Is this right? Why do I feel like this does not work? Let's say 2017 now. Does that change anything? No, that doesn't change anything. Wow. So wait, is there just none available? Hold on, let me check sold. Okay, we'll choose ended recently. Wow. He last sold. Look at that. There's this big jump from September 22nd to September 24th. There's this big jump on this card from $45 to $100. Yowza. And now there's not one for sale on the market, really. I mean, there is one, but it's really expensive. It's one where it pairs with another Pikachu that's also a 9, this one right here. And they want like almost 300 for that. So if you're kind of to divide that between them, it's about 140 each. Yeah, that's pricey. Why is that so pricey? I don't understand. Well, it's sold at 100, so I'm going to offer 120 maybe. It's sold at 100. I'm going to offer 120. We know that tag's a real harsh grader, so this is a good 9 right here. There we go. All right. That's some of the hardest stuff to move, man. A pricey 9. Pricey 9s can be really tricky to move. 200 is my guess. Oh, if you thought it was 200, you can get it for 120. That's a much better price than 200. But yeah, we'll have lots of 9s actually to sell. Here's a nice Mimikyu 9. God, dude, I really wanted this to grade better than just that. Yeah, he's got some centering issues, really clear centering issues. Wonder how close this would have been to a PSA 10. This one's tempting to crack and regrade. See, he's got some issues down there. This is what I would call a borderline card. You could resubmit it and see what it does. Almost certainly the issue is going to be the centering here. Slightly off center, left to right up top. And then on the back, you got some clear off centering down here. Actually, here's a way we can tell if we want to crack it. We know that PSA is nicer to the back of the card than the front of the card, right? So let's go ahead. I can't zoom out. All right, well, let me just grab this then. Let's see if the front of the card triggered the 9 or if only the back of the card triggered the 9. Okay. You almost have to learn how to read this. It says that the corners and the edges are good. They're not perfect, though. Says there was a front miscentering of 58 left and 42 right. Where? It doesn't really show you exactly where it occurs on the card, but it has to be up here, the left, right. All right. Mister, I hate to constantly bother you, but do you have any Rayquaza? We got a little Rayquaza. Do you like a little one? Here, let me show you. We just priced a small Rayquaza up. There you are. It's a little, there's a little $29 Rayquaza if you're looking for a $29 Rayquaza. Hold on. Like an eyelash in here. There we go. All right. Very nice. I think I saw Rayquaza earlier. All right, come on, Mimikyu. Damn, dude. Let's get him priced. Mimikyu. Sword and Shield, 36. Sword, Shield, 36. We got an empty queue if you guys want to place an order for anything at all on this fine Monday night. Wow, he's so affordable as a 9. $65. Dang, dude. Hassan Pikachu, use Thunderbolt Zap. Oh my god. Nice to see the specifics. Yeah, so you can actually see exactly what is wrong with your card because of Tag Grading's Grader Report. It's a huge, huge innovation over what all the major grading companies are doing. It's much better than what any of them are doing. There it is. Look at that pot right there. Here's Mr. Mark. I think Mark's going to try and make an offer. Let's see what Mark says. He says, is there a chance I could trade in all my Yu-Gi-Oh cards and Poke Korean cards to get that Tag 10 Myena on the table? There's a Tag 10 Myena on the table. Oh, I know what you're referring to. He's a nice card, but I think he's a little pricey. So this is a $50 Myena, and you want to trade in Yu-Gi-Oh cards and Korean. So here's the problem with the Yu-Gi-Oh cards. I don't screw around with those at all, so I don't do anything with Yu-Gi-Oh. They have some kind of value, but to me, they don't mean much because I don't even bother grading them mostly. But I could. I guess I could. Let me look into them. I shouldn't turn out any offer. The thing is, I wouldn't grade those with tag grading. I would grade those with PSA grading, I suppose. So you got these guys. Is that right? Man-Eater Bug, Pot of Greed, Fusionist, Pot of Greed. Lots of Pots of Greed, Tri-Horned, the right leg. It's way off center, though. You can see it. Here's a Curse of Dragon. Curse of Dragon. Interesting. It's an interesting proposition. I mean, again, I don't really know much about Yu-Gi-Oh cards. Maybe it's a worthwhile trade. I hear people are interested in Arc Raiders. And then you don't like your Korean cards either. Let's see. Let me just see what those end up being. So we've got a little Charizard, a little Cleffa, Pikachu Fluttermane, Mimikyu Okidogi. Now these are technically Korean. That's Korean. Then you got all these over here. I thought you pulled like one or two good. Another Tri-Horn. There's left arm of the stinky one. Curse of Dragon again. Well, actually, it's a lot of Yu-Gi-Oh cards. I might be interested. I really don't know much about them. But then again, maybe they just send them through, get them processed, and see what happens. What do you think? Peter says, I'm watching your channel after a long time. Yeah? I really appreciate that, Peter. That means a lot to me. I appreciate that, man. I've been going for a long time. And, in fact, we are in year number 7 now. And I'm at a point in life where I don't have to do this. I can do whatever I want. And I just like selling Pokemon cards. It's something I really like. I like selling them. I like grading them. I like working on them. All right, so we got a pack of Korean cards and Yu-Gi-Oh cards, and you would like to make this trade for one graded Myena. I'm going to accept that trade, Mark. Here you are. So now you've got a graded 10 Myena. Ooh. And now it's up to me to try and extrapolate some kind of value out of those Yu-Gi-Oh cards. Here we are. Thank you, mister. No problem. Okay. I like this music. Yeah, we don't sell a lot of Yu-Gi-Oh. Yu-Gi-Oh is definitely not a big one for us. We saw a lot of Ghosts of the Past. That one's real popular. Oops, wait a second. We need to say TCC. Okay. And it'll be placed over here for processing. So one day, could be years from now, one day that'll be processed. Discord message. All right, Mr. Blake wants a Discord message. Here's a waifu break with Cubone Misty. Take a shot at those breaks someday, guys. Somebody always pulls the break. Probably won't be you, but it could be. That's what's interesting about it, is somebody always does pull it. That's the bounty. If you win a break, you also go in the bounty at the same time. You literally get a shot at 2 items. Samantha says, Mimikyu. Okay, Mimikyu it is, Miss Samantha. Oh, using the rest of this. Haha, I got it. Okay. Tossing that. Thank you so much, Samantha. Tonight's really just been about slabs. Like, not even that many packs have been opened, but it doesn't really matter. Okay. We had 1 trade go by. That was good. What does the bounty go off of? End of October, right? Yeah, so on the last day of October, when it ends, the next day, or we will be able to run that bounty. Or maybe at the very last day of October at the end of the stream, one or the other, we'll be able to run that bounty finally. All right, let's just see this. Okay, you're still working on a message. No problem. So let's rotate this again. I can't believe how much this guy moves over here. This guy right here. He's super popular. This Gengar. Cardos Gengar is already up to 4. He is the most popular break on the table. The only reason he doesn't go off is because he's so expensive. This card last sold on eBay in auction for $255, and the cheapest buy now is $300. Here it is. Very fancy Gengar. The Gengar tax. We got 3 Gengars on the table. How sexy is that? That's sexy as hell, dude. All right. All right, you got it, Mr. Blake. Let's go ahead and go through with that. So you would like to keep 2 of the cards in this bag and then transfer it into a spot. There it is. Rick and Morty. Like that. And while we're doing such nice trades with each other, let me go ahead and get you a top loader for the Rick and Morty, since he is a square cut card. And he's losing some of the fatness of the bag. See, I feel like the fatness of the bag helps protect. There we go. It's when a card's loosened by itself that it's in danger. Okay, and here is Pikachu. Oops, come on now. There it goes. All right. So Pikachu and Morty from Rick and Morty. Very cool. Got a nice box topper. And then actually, let's grab this thing. Good luck in there, Mr. Blake. You're going to check out the new Legends game this week. I pre-ordered it. I pre-ordered a Switch 2 and the new AZ Legends game. Pre-ordered it from Walmart. So I'm going to have it. Hopefully the Switch 2 is really fun, and if it is, we might bring it onto this table and just play it right here in front of you guys. You think that'll be fun? Might play it right here live a little bit every night. Would that be a bad thing? You know, we did that with Pokemon Red, and I felt like some people got kind of bored of that. Like they were really just here for the Pokemon cards. But, you know, maybe it could be a very end of the stream kind of activity, like when we're ready to wrap up. Or maybe the very beginning. Who knows? Do you have any SV Era Hollows graded 10? Scarlet Violet Era Hollows. Every now and then I grade one of those, but not super often. Yeah, I take a look at some hollows. Some hollows are something to look at. Look at this, by the way. Man, look at that. This cute Riolu. Adorable, man. Super cute. Sweet, my girlfriend is getting mine. There we go. Yeah, we're going to have some Switch 2. So what do you guys think of the Burger Chew? My gut instinct is that if they don't bring him to America, and if they don't reprint him, he's probably underpriced. That's my instinct on the Pikachu. Okay, Riolu, McDonald's. And these other cards in the set are probably nice to own too. It all comes down to whether they do... What? What? How expensive is this? It says the cheapest one's $150? That doesn't make any sense. Let me go over to sold. Oh, wow. So it last sold for $130. Wow. I thought this was a throwaway card. What the hell? I did not think it was serious like that. Yeah, this McDonald's set's really fascinating. I hope they bring him to America. He's a really good artwork, so it would be a fantastic thing if they brought him to America. Of course, that would potentially crash the value of the Japanese one to a certain degree. Although the story stays with the Japanese one, right? So the story of the Japanese one is that they canceled the promotion early because the demand was so insane. So you're always going to have that memory with the Japanese one. But yeah, there is always a chance that they reprint it in English and go, let's squeeze a little money out of this. You know what I'm saying? But you never know. You never know what's going to happen next in the Pokemon hobby. It's all a gamble a little bit. Here's Dragonite. Here's Mimikyu. But let's say they do not bring him into America. He's underpriced then. We priced this guy at a nice $10. It's really kind of a good deal for somebody who wants to just have a little fun. He could probably go into the Poke Shuffle for $10 and be a great pull for somebody. You put me in the Burger Chew? Let's get you in the Burger Chew. Sorry about that, man. Yes, Mr. Blake. I got the one step done, but not the second step. I was probably distracted. There it is. So Blake going into that Burger Chew. Now, take a quick look at Burger Chew. He's quite close, everybody. Burger Chew clicking up to 9 out of 10. Okay, I'm rooting for you, Blake. One spot remains. It's a $30 spot. They need to release a new Rayquaza card soon. Yeah, he's awesome. I love Rayquaza. Let's take a look at some cards that need to actually get rotated. Let's see. Ooh, there's a Charizard. So we got Lugia, we got Mask of Ogerpon, we got Suicune, Dodrio. Here's a nice Charizard 10. Oh yeah, Koga's Ditto. Nobody jumped into it, so I pulled him down. Poor Koga. It's very interesting. Look at that Charizard. So he was at 69, huh? That's neat. Let's set him there. And then here's a Dodrio, and here is a Suicune. It's wild that the Pikachu took only a couple months to become the most graded card in Pokemon. That particular Pikachu? Well, it's just so obviously cute. I think it's the fact that there's a hamburger there. The hamburger is very enticing. You look at it and you go, oh man, he's got a burger. Okay. It's such an iconic type of food, you know? So it says his price is correct at $200. You are? All right. Actually, the last Suicune sale was for $120. It was my Suicune card sold on eBay, but it was the other type of Suicune. It was the Part 2 Suicune, which has a yellow border to it, which I believe is less popular than this fully clear one. See, look, the last sold's actually mine. 120, but look at the yellow. See the yellow on the left and the right? I believe that is not as popular as this beautiful clear white background that you get on this version of the card. So this is the more popular version of that Suicune. He's just really beautiful. This could easily be a break. It could easily go into the live customs because it's just a quality card. 48,000 PSA 10s. Of the Burger Chew? Did you say there's 48,000 of the Burger Chews? 48,000? A Burger Chew. Oh, what? That cannot be real. Big population. Well, you could say that. You could also probably say maybe they're all done grading. You could say, you know, there's not as many left to grade probably. Wow. That's really crazy. That means he is not that rare at all. There's too many if that's true. Well, too many is a careful word. You know, you got to be careful when you say something like that, like a word like too many. Wow. Oh my God, dude. That's why he's even somewhat affordable. Imagine if Imagine if this Pikachu, there was only like a population of 10,000 of them. Think about the price on it. It'd be like a $500 card right now or higher. Okay, it looks like we have a last order. Give me a second here. Let me hit refresh. Clicking on this. We have Oscar Ascendez. He says Burger Pikachu. Here he is, Burger Pikachu. Second time running on the break, and he is clicking off. Definitely proving himself to be a desirable break. Good luck in there, everybody. So we only ran the second round of this was only ran because the first round ended, and we had forgotten to put somebody in here. Andy, right? Yep, Andy Martin. So he was supposed to be in the first round, and we didn't do that, so I started a second round only because of that. Otherwise, I was just going to hold some of these. So Blake, Darren, Carlos, Whipple, Andrew, Oscar. There it is. Ho-ho. Burgachu, I choose you. How cute. Let's grab this. And some of these. 1, 2, 3, 4, 5, 6, 7, 8, 9, 10. Lovely. Lovely. Do you have any big slabs for sale? Says Ulrich. Yes. 1, 2, 3, 4, 5, 6, 7, 8, 9, 10. I tend to show them off. Not as big as I'd probably like, though. I mean, I wish I had bigger ones. That's the hardest thing to stock, in my opinion, is really super high-end slabs. They're tricky to stock. Tricky to stock, scary to sell. I ought to take some of my personal collection and just start letting some of it go. Because Karis and I want to move one day to a new house and live in a city. I was talking to Karis, actually, about something that AI talked to me about. I don't know if you guys think I'm crazy or not, but I have these big conversations with the AI now. I talk with ChatGPT, Gemini, and Grok. And what I do is I ask them to ask me questions in a huge prompt. And then I fill out the prompt with as many details as I want, like 5 paragraphs long, like a book or something. Then I save the prompt in a document file and upload that document to a place where I can access it again so that I can post the prompt over and over. Give me a number. Give me a number. So I save all my big prompts, right? And then I can plug them into the 3 AIs and look for where they have like a convergence in their ideas. 1, 2, 3, 4, 5, 6, 7, 8. There we go. And this has been amazing. My goal now is to start doing that for everything in life. I want to write huge prompts, giving every last detail of my life, put it into a document, save the document, and then upload it to all the AIs to start having them think for me, basically. Okay, you ready? Here are the names. It's a really big deal. And they're so good. It's like, they're shockingly good. It's like free counseling, business counseling, finances, whatever you want. It was AI that said if we simply moved to like Tennessee down the road, we would instantly make 5% more by avoiding the Missouri taxes. And it's like, that's a big deal if you have a really good card collection, because potentially one day you've got to sell the entire collection, right? Well, do you want to pay an extra 5% on it or don't you? You know? So you can carry the cards across a border and they're worth like 5% more instantly. Okay, give me a number. When did the mega sub go off? Mister didn't put the break history. I'm sorry, Tammy. It was in the daytime stream. The daytime stream. You could probably just grab the link to it. You don't even have to look it up. Just grab the link and say the daytime stream had the mega sub list break in it. So, and you can leave it up to them to find it. 4, 1, 2, 3, 4. There we go. All right. Good. Ready? Here's Mr. Whipple. Whipple went kind of deep on this. I don't know who's going to pull it, but he's got a good shot. But if he misses, it's going to hurt. Oscar Ascendez. Oscar, I'm sorry, man. Blake Santoro. Mr. Blake. Oh, my gosh, dude. What a trade. Mr. Blake traded his whole bag of cards. I don't know what it would have been worth. Maybe about $40. He traded his whole bag of cards for just one spot in the Pikachu, and look at that. It has magically grown into a magic beanstalk. So I gotta say sorry for Mr. Whipple. He deserves to be on the bonus slab, Mr. Whipple does. Here we got Mr. Whipple. He went real deep on this. Here we are. Here's Carlos Sura. Mr. Carlos. Andrew Martin. I'm sorry, Andrew. You weren't fated to pull this one, and you weren't going to pull the other one either if you think about the timing of your position. Here's Carlos Sura. He had 2 spots. And, oops. Well, I suppose it doesn't matter. We know what the last 2 pulls are going to be. Darren Thompson and Mr. Whipple. Oof. Blake's having a good night, though. Oh, my gosh. All right, so it's not quite over for you yet, Mr. Whipple. I'm going to place you on not 1 but 2 giveaways, and this will give you a second chance shot at a pull. So I only do this for people who have very bad luck. This is called the bonus card. Okay, so in this case, it's going to be this lovely Pidgey. I'll write down Whipple here. No rarity Pidgey. He's probably worth about $40. But you will also be placed into tonight's giveaway. So you're being given double giveaway odds. Where to go? Why am I not seeing it? Is it hidden? I thought we had a giveaway, didn't we? Oh my gosh, it's all the way in the back hidden. So here it is. So this guy, well, he's probably worth about 20 bucks. So you've got a shot at a $20 card and a $40 card, Mr. Whipple. There you go. I'm sorry about that. Actually, it's a tag slab. Now I'm one of the 6 million PSA 10 Burger Chews. Thanks. Yeah, there's a lot of those Burger Chews according to what we were just told. We are. Pikachu. Here's this. And this. And this. Okay. All right. I'm curious if I should run one more because he's pretty popular, I guess. I mean, that's the break you guys all wanted into. But I feel like when you run the same break over and over again, it gets really painful for whoever keeps jumping into it. Here it is. Grab this. That's complete. But I know you guys probably would prefer it if I had one more. All right. Now, Mr. Blake. Mr. Blake. With all the luck I've had this month, I need some bad luck. There you go. Well, we got you on 2 giveaway slabs, Mr. Whipple, because of the toughness in this round. So you get a little second shot, okay? All right, Pikachu. You probably keep that one, huh? The bag, no. McDonald's Pikachu? Yes. That was pretty good, Blake. I mean, you only had a 1 in 10 odds of that occurring. So, yeah, when the luck's good, it's real good. Not always good, though, but it would be nice if it was. Look at this. Here's a Solgaleo 9 from the 25th anniversary. It's a cute card. Unfortunately, it did grade 9. Now, think about that's only one of the grading companies says ding, ding, ding. Yeah, I mean, if you think about it, definitely some were sent to Beckett, right? People going after those Beckett black labels with that Pikachu card, right? So, $17 for this Solgaleo. Beautiful. Let's see if any other orders have occurred. No. So we are still pricing up slabs. And if you're watching this and you have a bag of cards over here, feel free to make me an offer, a trade offer on any of these slabs. I'll trade anything. Doesn't matter what's in your bag, and it doesn't matter what slab you want. I'm happy to make a trade. Here's Persian. Here's Umbreon 9 for 25 bucks. Did you notice this is in English? It's really nice. Just a nice card. It is. Here's that Druddigon. I feel like he's been rotating for a while. Here's Duskull. He's really good. Okay, here's this Dusknoir. Hey, what's up, Mr. CS Man? How's it going? All right, let's see. Oops. All right. You better watch yourself, Mr. CS Man. Louis Sutton was in here. He's buying up all my best slabs. For 2 nights in a row, he has bought some of the best slabs available. He's snatching them. There we go. He's not messing around. The black label sold for $21,000. That doesn't make any sense, does it? That price makes no sense. Okay, so there is a giveaway going on tonight. Yes, this one right here. Very nice. Let's see. So we've got Oscar Resendez going in. Are you still doing the pictures of Slabs we have in Discord? And if so, how much are you charging for that? So like a private channel. That what you're talking about? Yeah, so it's $20 for a private channel. I need some rules about when the channel sort of like expires or something. There it is, Oscar Resendez. Because if I don't have a system for when it expires, I think that we will end up with like infinite channels going into the Discord server, and then it gets really too large. So I think it should be $20 maybe for one whole year. It's a brand new product, the private channel, and it's really useful for tracking your cards so that you know exactly what you have over here. I initially designed it to help LaFlame, because LaFlame could never keep track of what he had over here because he had so much, and he was international. And so we invented it for him, and it was very useful for him in the end. And so I said, man, we got to just let anybody use it if they want to. So it's $20. We create a private channel for you, and when you get a slab, we take a picture of it, and we can even take pictures of your bag if you need us to, because it's just a channel, and you can kind of tell me what to do in that channel. Okay. TCC cult. That's right. Welcome to the cult. Welcome to the cult. Did everyone here see my new Charizard? Where'd he go? Here's my new Charizard. Pull this up for you. Ooh, beautiful. Yeah, I don't like this eBay authenticity guarantee card thing. Let's go ahead and pull this off. There we go. So, toss that here. Let's christen him in a new sleeve. Oops. That Tyranitar is an extremely rare Neo Destiny Japanese card. What's interesting, Neo Destiny is super old, super famous, and what's interesting is the Japanese versions of the cards are largely sort of ignored. Like, a lot of people don't think about them. But so a lot of people don't know they're much more rare than the English version. They didn't print as many in Japan, or at least they didn't survive or something. Oh my God, dude. It's so pretty, it's crazy. All right. Yes, take the sleeve off. The undressing of the slab. There you are. Okay, so that is a 67 population with the purchasing price of $14,000, made on 10/25. Someday I'm going to be like a 40-year-old man looking back on this purchase from 4 years ago. I'm almost in my 40s. I'm getting old, guys. If you have time after your slab grading, please continue to do the massive pre-grade. Yeah? I'm going to do it, man. All right. I'm going to go ahead and hit refresh on this. All right, and place it back over here. So here's, what time is it already? 2:21. You only have 5 years, mister. Then it's butt checking time. Ooh, I didn't think of that. Gosh, man. So it graded a ton of these rock return cards. Not in the way I would hope, but this got a 9. Rocket's Mission. This is from Rocket Returns. You gonna tell Stream about the butt doctor? Yeah, well, they start checking for all kinds of stuff, don't they? They say do colonoscopies, and they say do prostate checks too, huh? It's all about your butt. Crazy. I don't know if I'm ready for it. What do you guys think? Actually, no, it's not a big deal. I think I'm more terrified of getting cancer than my personal insecurities of having a doctor put things up my butt. So here we have the Rocket's Mission is a $30 card. There you go. I think I'm more terrified of that colon cancer, man. They talk about that in the news. It's like the second fastest rising. No. It's like the #1 fastest rising cancer in young people. And it's the second most common cancer in men, isn't it? You can't mess around with that. That's a big deal. Here we are. And look at me. I'm not the spitting image of health. I kind of sit around at my job all day long. And I spent many years eating like hot dogs, ham. They say that's a big cause of it, are the deli meats. So I ate a lot of ham over the years. And I ate plenty of processed food, like probably many of you guys. I just ate whatever tasted good for most of my life. So yeah, I'm probably a prime suspect for dying from colon cancer later in life. So they say if you catch it really early, though, they can just get rid of it. So that's a big deal. So I care about that. How do you store your cards? Just team bags? Yep, I just put everything into bags. I'm 40 now and feel like my life is over. What? What are you talking about, Pennywise? Life's not over at 40, especially not when you go on cool card party conventions or something like that. I don't think rectal exams are too much of an issue. Penny, we all feel that way eventually, unless the Hulk checks it. All right, what we got? So there's Staryu, Celebi, Manectric. Let's take a picture. I'm drinking a tall boy beer and just ate cookies and a creamy candy bar. You better not. Yeah, we don't exactly eat super healthy for our generation, do we? And so it's not a surprise that digestion cancer is that, and that's what it really is. It's digestion cancer is all the rage. There we go. Because eating poorly is also all the rage. Here's Snorlax. I'm in the hospital right now with severe stomach pain. Something wrong with my pancreas. Uh-oh. That's no good. Here we are. Here we are. You got some severe stomach pain, and the pancreas is involved. Here we are. Pancreatitis? How do you get pancreatitis? There's Snorlax. Well, you just tell us how it goes, man. You're young, Mr. Michael. You'll be all right. What is this? I have somebody showing me a cool tag grading. Look at this. Look at that card. That's pretty neat. That's what you do with your money, huh? All right. All right. So let's get this guy priced up. So we got this Battle Partner Snorlax. Hops Snorlax. I'm a big fan of this Snorlax, but he got a 9. Let's just get him out of here. I'm going to say 25 on this one. I like him because he's Snorlax. My gallbladder has stones that blocked my pancreas. Oh. You forget about all these parts of your body. You know, you got like the gallbladder, you got the pancreas, and they're doing these jobs, and you don't really think too much about it until it's like time to have something worked on. There you go. All right. Okay, Sprigatito. Now, I think, I think our generation, I'm talking to like the millennials and Gen Z, our food was so bad, so processed, so much out to eat. And I'm guilty of it. I'm not judging any of you guys. I'm totally guilty. But, we were so far removed from like what grandma and grandpa had, all home cooked meals, wife's at home cooking dinner every night, casseroles. We are so removed from that. Everyone's got like a girlfriend who's also working these days. And so nobody really wants to do home cooked meals. So what it really was for us was quick meals that don't require tons of effort, because both parents, both adults are tired. So they do quick meals. You get a little frozen TV dinner, and you go out and get some McDonald's and some Taco Bell, and you get a little bit of this, you get a little bit of that. So we've been living that way for a long time. Most of America has. And I will not be shocked when it turns out Americans have to spend like some exorbitant amount of money just trying to recover from all that, like maybe it's a gallbladder issue, maybe it's a pancreas issue, maybe it's a liver issue. You can get a liver problem from eating wrong, not from alcohol, but from eating wrong. Liver problem intestinal problems, stomach problem, esophageal problem, dental problems, right? Eating candy and soda all day long. So I won't be surprised when Americans of our age and our time period have to spend much, much, much more money on all these problems that occurred because it's way too easy to live unhealthy and bad lives. And we're so exposed to these basically like food drugs. You know how everyone's like, one of the biggest problems in society is like everyone's on these drugs, like fentanyl and dope and all this other stuff. It's a real drug addiction problem in our country. Well, even if you're not drug addicted, you might be like on the softer stuff, like just going and eating a box of cookies every day. You know what I'm saying? And that has maybe not as an immediate of effect, but it does catch up to you one day, doesn't it? There's no escaping it. All right, you still around, Mr. CS Man? Where's my guy, Mr. CS Man? Is he still here? Super painful and pain meds won't touch it. I remember when I was young, they promised meal pills. Oh yeah, yeah. Didn't in Futurama, didn't they have like a spray can and you could like spray a meal onto your plate? Let's see. Super painful and pain medications won't touch it. Oh my God, dude, that's terrifying. I've heard about what do they call them? Kidney stones being kind of similar, being like one of the most painful experiences in life. Kidney stones, and yeah. So I wonder if I ever am going to get something like that. It freaks me out. All right. So, what are people's thoughts and attitudes towards mental health and seeking psychological support? Do you think there's still a stigma? There is definitely a lot less of a stigma today. And even if you guys cannot afford to go to like a therapist or something like that, if I were you, I would crack open those AI apps because they're pretty smart on that too. They'll talk to you about just about anything. You can ask them about problems in your relationships. Maybe you're struggling with people, or why do I feel frustrated today, or something like that. You can ask them any question. And it won't replace a, real doctor, obviously, but it's a start, tells you if you got something to work on. But I never went to a therapist. I had a terrible family. I never went to a therapist. I guess I just kind of figured out much of it the hard way and or the long way. But I did a lot of reading. Reading helps too. So if you just read the same books that the psychologists are going to be reading, that can help you too. Here's Pidgey and Umbreon. We are. Even if there is a stigma, it will become politicized. They just want our money. What the therapists? Well, yeah, I mean, everyone wants your money. I want your money. I want you to buy some slabs. Everybody wants your money. It's just as long as you get something back for it, that's all right then. Okay. They don't want to do it for free. All right. They want you to give them something, and then they'll give you something. Here we are. But yeah, mental health is a really interesting issue in 2025. Life's so different, I think, from in our time period than it was in the past. I think it was actually much simpler in the past. And when you had a problem, it was like, well, go pray to Jesus. You know what I mean? And then something really serious came up in life, like the death of somebody, and it just sort of probably had a blanketing somber effect that sort of kicked you out of whatever mood you might have been in. Because life was too real back then. Now we're sort of like in this new digital age and everyone's pretty comfortable. And so some of your biggest problems in life are just dealing with having the wrong set of feelings or something like that, Here we are. Plus, honestly, I feel like we live in a time period where parents are not as good. I feel like a lot of parents struggle to be good parents. And I think that, there's more vices for sure today. There's more divorce. There's more mom and dad fighting. And it's just a kind of a weird world. And so, you're going to have all these kids that grow up with mommy problems or daddy problems as a result of just that. All right, so this will be about 30 bucks. Man, I love this card. This is 30 bucks, but it only got an 8, huh? Why did this only get an 8? That makes me sad. God, it's such a nice card. How do you feel about the monopoly that PSA is creating with their hand in every step of the process? They don't have a pure monopoly, no. You've got BGS Black Label. You got CGC Pristine 10. Here's a beautiful Tag. Did you know Tag sells Pristine 10s as well? But they're extremely hard to acquire. I had to grade 900 cards to get just 2 Pristines. So Tag's got their Pristine label. you know, and there's SGC if anyone cares about SGC anymore. SGC's, I think SGC is a distant, like last place or fourth or fifth or whatever you want to call it. But they're a serious company. It's just that I don't feel like there's as much of a need to use them anymore. There's too much competition. And so, you know, you could say they have a monopoly just because they're the preferred company and they get the most grades and they sell really well. But you got options if you don't want to do PSA. You can do Beckett all day long. They hand out a lot of 9.5s. It drives me nuts. But sometimes that's made up for by the fact that the pristines do sell pretty well, and the black labels sell at a tremendous premium. So, you know, BGS is out there. PSA owns SGC, true, but again, they do own them. You're right. That's a fair point. But they do feel different and look different, and I doubt that PSA. You can't have one person running the exact. In other words, a different team of people actually run SGC, but maybe they share a similar group of values as PSA. They probably do. Yeah, no, but that's fair. Yeah, but truly, CGC, BGS, tag grading. You can say AGS. You can probably name a couple others. They're all truly different companies, and if PSA made enough mistakes, they could lose their positioning. Sure, they could lose their positioning. They can't screw around too much. There, PSA 8, Q, and this is going to be Sword and Shield, 136. Is that right? All right, you ready for this really unbelievably high price? He is going to be $40. BGS grades at 1/10 the monthly volume, and CGC does 1/3. Yeah, but it all adds up, though. That's my point, is that it all adds up. It's not a pure monopoly. You know, monopoly is when one company has all the cards, right? I'm gonna get that. Let's get some of these into this Poke Shuffle. We just put in a really nice Burger Chew into the Poke Shuffle. We're gonna put the Pidgey in for just four spots, which is $20. So Pidgey's going in for $20, just 20. Oops, 077, Pidgey. Mister, did you tag grade any of those Ditto Lapras cards? I wanted to, but they don't grade Korean cards yet. I hope they grade them soon. They really ought to. There's a vast world of Korean cards to grade, so I really want them to. Okay. This Umbreon's going in. All right. Yeah, if you add all these smaller companies together, they take a dent away from PSA. I don't got a lot of hate for PSA. They just do a great job, man. What's there to hate? So we got 1, 2, 3, 4, 5, 6, 7, 8. I think their price is pretty reasonable. Their turnaround times, maybe not so much, but that's not their fault. All that really means is people like them. So I don't like to hate on them. I think that PSA has made me some serious money over the years, and I respect them as a company. It's very easy to hate on the grading companies while they do this job for you, this sort of thankless job, while everyone severely criticizes them. And then meanwhile, you're making money on them. You know, I realize that's not the right attitude about it. I regret that I was so mean about it in the past. So I regret that. Regret my crabbiness. I'm a crabby guy sometimes. Did you know that? I can be really crabby. Here's Leafeon. I don't know if you've ever sensed that about me, but I can get crabby. Here's Pikachu, and here's Tyranitar. Wow, those are some good cards right there. Look at this selection. We got a Leafeon Master Ball. That's beautiful. Over the years, this should get really expensive, you know, because these were actually really hard to pull. The Master Ball Evolutions were very hard to pull. We got a nice stamped Pikachu. Beautiful card. Wait till Friday rolls around. You know, if you wait till Friday, I'm betting you some of these are going to disappear because they're pretty affordable. And these are the kind of cards where you can buy them cheap, and then, you know, in a couple years, they could double. That's how it is, because these kind of just came out, didn't they? A lot of these are younger cards. They're not like vintage like this Tyranitar I've been showing off. He's old. He's 24 years old. These are not 24 years old. So that's what's interesting about them is one day they will be. And so you could buy them now and just go put them in your closet. And just because they're not $10,000 doesn't mean that they couldn't one day be $10,000. So, you know, one theory of mine, I've thought about collecting 110 of every good card of every new modern set and then just leaving them alone. And truly leaving them alone and just letting them age, letting them get old. Like me, I'm going to get old. Lawn mowing duty calls. Gotta go. Thank you, Mr. Ding Ding, for stepping in. Nice to see you, man. Sard Life says, tag is trash. You drop them off your desk and they break. Well, I would say probably don't drop your slabs off of your desk. That would be my first thought. My second thought is I'm not entirely convinced that PSA wouldn't do something similar to that. So like, see this card and it's just this sort of brittle plastic. I'm pretty sure if I just dropped this and it landed on a corner of like a wood floor, there is a pretty good chance that is going to be a chipped or broken corner. So I would not recommend dropping anything off of your desk. Now, if I had to bet the slab that would survive a drop the most, probably BGS. I feel like BGS would probably survive the drop. CGC maybe too, I don't know. But BGS would probably be my #1 choice. And actually, there's a company in the UK, Ace Grading, has, I swear to God, the toughest slabs of all. You just can't break them. They're so tough. It's crazy. So I bet you Ace Grading would survive a fall too. But who's dropping their slabs off of their desk? Don't do it. You know what I mean? And if it's a nice slab, put a guard on it or put it, don't allow customers to handle it too much. I don't know. Yeah, be careful with your cards, I'd say. I don't think many slabs would recommend being dropped on the floor at all. It's just it's going to be a crappy outcome. Here is this beautiful Gengar 10. Again, this last sold for $255. That is tag 10 Gengar. And here's that beautiful tag 10 Charmander. Guess you don't have kids or pets, says Mr. Zardlife. I do have pets, but I store my cards in a room where I close the door and the pet's not allowed in. Yeah, I mean, if you got babies or toddlers or maybe young children, you better lock your cards up. So let me explain. I had 11 brothers and sisters, 11 of them. So I know all about children. So if you've got something that you don't want them to drop, you virtually have to lock them up. I mean, you have to do it. You can't sit them on the desk and be like, my kids will never drop these. It's just not how it'll be. They definitely will drop them. Zard a PSA shill. No, but I don't think he's a PSA shill. He probably just heard someone say that tag slabs crack when they drop, but it's like PSA slabs can crack when they drop too, for sure. I've seen it. Let's see. How about this? How are you going to do the bounty drawing? Everyone asks the name of the cards and similar to a regular break. So I'm just going to shuffle the names up and let you guys split the deck in half. And once it's split, I'll probably just take the top card off the deck and that'll be it. Ooh, look at that Diglett. Beautiful, man. That's Master Ball Diglett. You know, the card you badly want. All right. Who doesn't want Master Ball Diglett? I bet this guy's like 70 bucks. Diglett, my booty cheeks. All right. You know, if you can't control your pets and your children, I recommend putting a shock collar on them. Get back in your spot. All right, little Hassan reference. Master Ball. Dude, it's so obvious he shocked the dog with the shock collar. And then he went on to sort of lie and say, no, it's a little vibrate collar. Here we are. It's nothing. Years of training lost. Go Diglett. Fatality. Hassan approves. Pets always find a way to wreck your most prized possession. You're not kidding, man. I actually saw a post on Instagram of a guy who had a nice 151 card and his dog had chewed the whole thing to death. And I was like, ooh, that sucks. All right. Through all versions of life, pain is the best teacher. Sad to say. Yeah. Hey guys, if you're looking to open any booster packs tonight, I would say probably the best thing you can open right now in 2025, my recommendation with all my knowledge, Prismatic. That's where it's at, Prismatic. We got Prismatic on the menu in two ways. We have just standard individual packs you can open, or we also have the Lucario boxes, which is probably what I would go for. The Lucario boxes come with two stamped cards, stamped Lucario, stamped Tyranitar, which if those graded 10 would virtually pay for the box. Just the graded cards would. Just the promos would, I mean. And so, yeah, Prismatic, that is my #1 choice if you did not know that. Prismatic, the Sword and Shield Crown Zenith is not bad either. 151 continues to be one of the most popular sets to open. So those are some insights from me, the guy who does Pokemon cards all day long for a living. 151, Prismatics, and Crown Zenith, but I would say it's Prismatic, #1 set to open. Here's Topps Nintendo. By the way, happy Monday to all you guys. Here are some gym breaks. And also, did you know we have this graded booster pack break all the way up to 10 out of 25? That's actually a really impressive number. So there's 15 spots left on this. Why is this so interesting? Well, it's graded 10, but it's one of these ugly folded over packs. But we were talking recently about how it's known knowledge that you can regrade this at PSA. You can upgrade it to one of the tall packs, and they'll maintain the PSA 10 on it. They do not dismiss the PSA 10. They unfold it, and you get the original grade when you do the upgrade to the new holder. So I would definitely recommend that break. I think that break is really fascinating. I don't even know if I would have hosted it if I had known that first. Maybe I would have just done the upgrade myself and then hosted it at a higher price. So it might be a good deal for you guys. This is a fun break. It gives you a chance at a graded booster pack, Nintendo Game Pack link. There you go. That's fun. $35. Take a risk on that. If you like really expensive booster packs, we got a couple of those. Is that confirmed? Yeah, somebody in chat was confirming it. And then I was actually online looking at some of the graded boosters, and I saw it. You could see that the packs had been, you could see that there was like some crinkling a little bit on the edges. And so you could tell it had been unfolded. And so I was like, oh, that's very fascinating. In fact, I might have one in my collection that's like that. But it's very fascinating. They actually keep the cards as a 10, the packs, I mean, when you do the upgrade to the open booster, the tall boy, whatever you want to call it. It is beautiful old vintage packs you could open up if you want to take a big shot tonight, if you're not scared. Do you prefer to pull your packs from a blister? Here we have a blister Fates Collide for $62. This gives you a shot at old XY era cards. Of course, you keep all the bulk. The bulk in here is valuable. We could almost sleeve every single bulk card at this point because we're at that stage for XY era. XY era is over 10 years old. It's basically mid-era, along with platinum and all that other stuff nowadays. So those are some cool things to consider. We have all of our consignment slabs. Those are for sale. They've already been priced up for this month. If you have not looked into our Discord server, these are all for sale. Somebody asked me, what does that mean, consignment? It meant, well, it's for sale. That's what it means. And we're selling it for somebody else. So I'm selling this for Anthony. I'm selling this for Adam Pashuis. So I'm selling it for him. This is a card you could buy. We're selling it for Tammy. When it sells, Tammy gets a little cut. So that's nice for Tammy. Here's Bayleaf. Tammy doesn't get a little cut. She gets most of the money. I'm the one who gets a little cut. There. So we got Miss Cartman. We got the Nido Queen. We got this Talo, Deoxys Talo 10. That one's pretty tempting, isn't it? That one's pretty good. Been debating on buying packs, but enjoying seeing what slabs you got. We can keep pricing up the slabs too. It looks like we have a good, probably like 30 left. No, maybe it's closer to 40. We got a good 40 slabs left to price up. Not to mention, we should be getting more back soon, actually. Not only is PSA almost done with theirs, but I'm pretty sure Tag has already shipped me a new round. But this new round should have some of your guys' cards in it, so it won't have as many of mine. What's the percentage on commission? That's a great question, Blake. So the commission price, you get 73% store credit. There we go. 73% store credit. But somebody was actually talking to me about the percentages, and they mentioned that as the card gets more expensive, my cut should go down. And I actually agreed with them on that. So as the card gets more expensive, I would be happy to do like a smaller commission. I just don't have maybe like a proper sheet for that or anything. But so for most standard slabs, probably going to be a 73%. And for a bigger slab, it might slide downward, like down to 20, and then maybe at some point maybe down to like all the way down to 10%. I don't know if it's like a huge slab. What percentages did you have in mind for consignment? Hey, what's the turnaround currently on PSA bulk, says Zard? Well, we submitted ours in August, and we have 2 submissions from August that are almost done. We're about halfway through October. So that's looking like, August, September, October, almost November. I would say 3 months is a pretty safe number. 3 months for turnaround time on PSA. Compare that to tag grading, which is giving us about a 1 month turnaround time. And so if you like a fast turnaround time, we do consignment, not consignment, we do middleman grading for tag, meaning you can open up a pack here and then tell me to send it off to tag grading. Let me show you. Like Waldbeer is having me grade this. Team Rocket Grunt's having me grade this. See the T up in the corner? It means tag. Mark tag grading. We got a mark tag grading here. Here's a mark tag grading. I don't remember what Jack Gray asked for. He must ask for probably for PSA. Put this over here. Most likely PSA because that card can't be sent to tag. All right, so these are all going off to tag grading. So if you would like me to send cards off to them, it's about a month turnaround time. That's pretty fast. It's almost similar to PSA's express tier grading. And, it just depends on the handling time too, like when I actually send the order out. So it's about 1 month wait time from when I send it out. And it's only $30. So we have a really nice middleman grading with tag. So you can open some cards here, and if you get something you like, just send it out immediately. I also help with I help with pre-grading. You can have me pre-grade any card for $3, and I'm very good at it. Been doing it for years. So we can pick out a card, and I can help you understand if it's really worth sending. In fact, if it looks like it has a shot at Black Label, part of the deal you get with that $3 grading, part of the deal is I tell you if I think it has a shot at Black Label, I tell you to send it to BGS. All right, so let's see what you guys are saying. Plastic sleeves over hard plastic is diabolical. My Sandstorm Eevee is in the September submission, so hopefully Christmas. I tried tag, and they lost one of my cards, and then half the cards came back cracked in the shipping box. What are you talking about, Zard? Why didn't you say that earlier? Are you just here, like, talking shit? Zard Life came in here and said that if you drop a tag card from the table, it will crack. And I just kind of pointed out, I was like, yeah, but that's also generally true for other slabs, too, especially their biggest competitor, PSA. But now, all this time later, you're saying tag lost your card and half your cards came back cracked during shipping. Well, why didn't you just say that when you entered the group? You waited till much later to say all that. I'm wondering if you're being sincere or not. Shill, I tell no lies. Yeah, actually, that sounds like you could be shilling. We are. Miss Samantha, she says she'll take the Link wax pack. You guys love these wax packs. You guys tend to buy these wax packs up without even doing the gym battle. It's really funny. Yeah, like, why didn't you start with that, Mr. Zard Life? You didn't start with that. You started with a smaller thing. Smells fishy is all. Yeah. I've graded 900 cards with tag grading, and 0 of them have arrived cracked during shipping. But let me show you something else. This is a PSA card that arrived cracked because they didn't package it well enough. So, oddly enough, PSA has sent me a cracked slab, and tag is not. But I don't judge PSA for this. You know why? Because sometimes it's not up to them. It's just the grading, not the shipping companies. Sometimes they're just assholes. That's it. They're just mean to your box. So you could your slabs crack during shipping? They could. They could crack when I send them to you. They could crack when they're coming back from any company. But yeah, I mean, it's. I don't think it's some sort of systemic problem for one company versus another company. Like, you get a UPS driver who decides he's going to throw your box halfway down the truck. You just got a bad UPS guy. That's not something you can control very well. Why, thank you, Miss Samantha. PSA has messed up my slabs before. Yeah, exactly. PSA has, they have destroyed multiple cards, one of them being very prestigious, a Crystal Guardians EX Jirachi. I never forgot it. It was one of their worst mistakes ever. Really saddened me. And then they claimed it was going to be a 9. And I looked it over again and again, and I'm like, how could this possibly be a 9? Actually, it wasn't my card. It was a guy who I had sent the card in for him, and he told me to keep it so that I could tell that story. I'll go grab it. He told me to keep it so I could warn others. I believe it's kept over here somewhere. Should be in here. But I don't see it. All right, I currently don't know where it's being held. Thought it would have been held in here. No. I don't know where it's being held. It's somewhere, okay? If I find it, I'll show it off again someday. We made a video on it already. All right. Sign the cracked slab, mister, and enlist it for $1 million. What? Hey, let's grab another wax pack, shall we? Let's grab another wax pack. Oh, maybe not this one. Give me a second. All right. There you go. So we just sold that link. Miss Samantha bought it. Here is a peach. Have you guys ever seen those? An 8's really good for a 1989 wax pack. Look at this. So graded 8, but that's pretty normal. These are not expected to really grade 10. They're just too rough. Okay. Wax pack peach. So the cheapest peach is $70. Very similar to the other ones. All right. No more Mario Red Overalls packs? I might have another one of those. Are you interested in one? I can go looking for you. Yeah, I might have another one of those. Some 7s, bunch of 8s, bunch of 9s. I sent $12,000 sports box once for pack grading, and I got only 1 10, and I can't tell why that one got a 10, all 36 packs. That happened. That's the exact experience I went through. It was devastating. It was so devastating that I stopped pack grading for a while. I just have not done much pack grading since then, because until I understand what it is that causes the pack to grade, 9 versus 10, I know I'm just going to keep doing this mistake where I send them in and get killed by these horrible low grades. And it was devastating. I sent in a ton, and they all graded 8. 8, 7, 6. It was the same deal for me. So this is the same deal as a link. It's a $35 break for 2 people. You can buy both sides of the break, and it just becomes your card at that point. There you go. Yep, I got killed. That's nuts, dude. Okay. Hey, it's Flickfire. How's it going, Flickfire? Here's Dodrio. Here's Suicune. And here is Rayquaza with his little gummies out. Okay. Tonight's been really a pack. I'm sorry, not a pack, a slab pricing night. Here we have Luke. Prismatic Evolutions ×6. Mega Evolution, Mega Symphonia ×5. Sorry, I said the wrong thing there, didn't I? Okay, so if you pull something nice here, you can even have me send it off to grade as well. That's what's so cool about it all. So 6 of these. And now the Mega Evolutions. Where are we keeping those? Ah, here they are. We also have these Spongebobs if you guys want a shot at Spongebob. He's popular. Seems he's popular. Okay. Anyone want to join in the Scarlet box battle? So we got a box break right here. It's a 1 and 2 box break. It's pretty dangerous. It's a full $45. So you're putting a lot on the line, and one person gets the whole box. That's how that works. So we got 1, 2, 3, 4, 5. Yep. All right. It's a great order. Let's see what's in it. Ooh. Ready? That's like grading seal promos. Don't get that either. Snipping this. You don't understand why to grade sealed promos. There is a reason. If you can look at the promo and recognize that it's severely like off center, or like it's clear it's not going to grade 10, well then a big trick is to grade it while it's still sealed, because they will base the grade not on the card. They'll base the grade off of the cellophane pack. So when you see a cellophane pack, you know, a graded promo in its plastic, when you see that graded 10, they're not looking at the card. They're looking at the little baggie it comes in. So all of a sudden, a card that would have graded perhaps 7 or 8 or 9 suddenly is a 10 as a graded cellophane. It's a big idea, actually. One I've never done myself. Here's Knockdown. There you go. Zard Life says, hey, didn't you have a different logo? Wasn't it like Team Rocket or something? Very, very, very long time ago. We are. Let's see. All right. Yeah, really long time ago. Look at this Slowpoke. Look at that Knockdown. Okay. Here's Festival Grounds, Dust Noir. Here's Lacey. Long time ago, the idea for the channel theme would have been a Rocket R. And then there was going to be like a rocket scientist as sort of like a mascot. So I thought that would be cool. And hidden in the rocket symbol was going to be the black and white swirl from my other YouTube channel, The Economist. So that would have been hidden inside of the logo of the rocket logo. Now, eventually I changed this because I thought, you know what? Nintendo owns the rocket logo, not me. And so I said, we can't build a channel on Nintendo's logo. It's just not a good idea overall. So eventually we swapped to a black and red swirl. That's what we did. We took my original, we took my original black and white swirl and we changed it black and red. Here's Professor's Research. Very nice. So, not very nice. Prismatic was terrible. You got handled, boy. Come on. Friggin' Prismatic. But maybe Mega Evolution will be the silver lining. Oop, silver lining. How did that happen? There we go. Here's Lunatone, Cinderace. What was in here? Oh my god, the big... Whoa, the Mega Kangaskhan. There he is. Non-Altart was in there. Here's Wally Spearow. Spearow's nice. Ooh. 45, but you could just split it instead of the battle. Correct. Yeah, you could both have half the packs if you guys want to work that out amongst each other. Just tell me. Just tell me in chat, and I'll do that for you guys. I don't mind. You could do that for any booster box right now, by the way. There we have it. Luke Charlton, you got one Spearow. That was a rough round. I would argue that, in fact, that round was rough. Yeah, you got Kangaskhan, Spearow, Terrapagos, knocked out. Woof. Ah, the dangers of opening Pokemon. Not unlike just buying a spot in a break. It's not unlike that, because these, by the way, are raw. Even if you did pull a good card, now you have to spend additional money to grade it. So, and when it comes back, it might come back a 9. So when you jump into a break and you lose 40 bucks in a break, it's not that bad from like a statistical point of view. You know, like taking a shot at this 40 bucks, 1 in 19. It's really not even that bad compared to opening booster packs. Luke Charlton, and that's why I'm so passionate about the breaks, because I see them as a legitimate way to obtain a really good card. So, Luke, you should have a bag over here. It's a new bag, isn't it? A newish one. I believe you have a newish bag. Ah, our friend Luke. All right, beautiful. Thank you, Luke. I really appreciate it. There we go. Hey, mister, since you're pricing the tag slabs, I want that Giovanni's Machamp. That is a Japanese card, and I suppose I could sell them. I mean, I shouldn't. I know I shouldn't, but I don't know. Maybe I should. So I think he's a Gym Giovanni's Machamp. PSA 10 Gym Machamp. Japanese. I kind of wanted to keep him because I think he's one of my own cards, and he happened to get a lucky 10, and I thought that was really cool. I'll set a price on him to tempt you with them, okay? Let me go get it. I kind of wanted to keep him. Okay. Good. So there it is. That's a Giovanni's Machamp. And he happened to grade 10. Very lucky. Beautiful. But I do kind of want to keep him as well. He was in my little personal collection box over there. But I'm going to set him up with the price so you can think about it. Oh, I don't need this. I need this. Here we are. Okay, Giovanni, you can have dibs on this. And if you don't want it, maybe I'll leave it up here. All right, so I'm pricing this tag version of the card at $270. All right. Hey, what's up, Troy? Here's Joshua Rodriguez, Master Ball Diglett, and one Prismatic. Oh, yeah, that Diglett, huh? That's a funny one, isn't it? Where did I even get this from? I have no clue where this came from. All yours? $40. Pretty amazing, actually. Good. Okay. How do you track those prices? So I use eBay cheapest buy now price. Now you can get one off of eBay, I think, for about $215. Of course, it's a little higher than that after taxes. But so if you go buy the one off of eBay, it's cheaper. This one is intentionally more expensive than that because I don't really want to sell them that much. That one in particular. All these other slabs will be cheapest buy now. Okay, give me a second here. Oops. And tag? Yes. That's, oh, right. You don't like tag grading. Let me tell you something that you probably did not expect. There are actually a lot of tag slabs that sell for more than PSA 10s. Did you know that? So, and so I've sold quite a few of them already. Actually, so I've graded a total of about 900 tag slabs and sold all of them. All of them. All that's left of the current return is just a couple that are stacked here. Can you hear that? So I got a little stack of them here, of the ones that were priced that you guys didn't just immediately buy. And then I got a little stack behind me right here. So already the big submission that came in has mostly, all of the big cards have sold out easily. And some of the lighter ones, although they're still being priced, look at that. Although they're still being priced, they'll be available too. So it just kind of sells. I don't know if you knew that. But not only does tag generally just sell, in some cases, it sells for more than the PSA 10. It's really, really interesting. I think it's a phenomenon because there's not that many cards graded with tag yet compared to PSA. So, you know, compared to PSA, how many tag 10 Machamps are you going to run into? Not that many. And this is why I'm actually interested in keeping him. And I don't care if he doesn't sell because I like him. So I could just put him back in my box and not feel anything sad about it. So that's why he's going to cost a little more, because I actually would like to keep him. Here's Umbreon from Black Flame. Ooh. Here we are. Let's see. So Mr. Umbreon. PSA 10. We've got Umbreon. Umbreon Black Flame. Oops, I typed in Nalak with the hard R. There we go, Black Flame. He costs, wow, he's, you know, it's an interesting card. He costs $35.43. So he costs about $43. Let's make ours $42. Just a little Umbreon card. Isn't that amazing? Dude, I love this Umbreon artwork. God, man, it's too bad he wasn't like a SR or something, or like a promo, like a reverse holo stamp promo. That's what they should have done. Could you imagine this? Obsidian Flame, he's holographic, Cosmic Holo, and it says Obsidian Flames right here. Oh, that would have been so good, dude. But they didn't do that, obviously, so this is what you get. So you use PSA comps for tag prices. Just to make things faster, I'm just using PSA prices for the tag comps. That's right. That's how I did it in the past as well. And again, they all sold through. And sometimes when you actually look up the tag prices, they can actually be higher than the PSA prices. So and occasionally, you'll find that you're actually getting a good deal on that. All right. Also, no bag, says Joshua. No problem, man. Let's open up a prismatic for you. Giovanni says, I've been bugging you about it since Sunday. Yes, here it is, the beautiful Giovanni's Machamp. Wonderful. And here is one prismatic for our friend Joshua Rodriguez, who needs a new bag. Okay, let's see. Ready? Oops. Very good. We'll throw this away. Are Tag paying you to pump them? 100% they are not. They are not. I came to them asking for the Tag dealership program. And basically, I wrote a contract with them that I would need to grade a lot of slabs. They're giving me slightly better pricing than PSA. Turn that down a little bit. And I would be happy for any grading company to offer me that deal. I've actually had that deal before with SGC. So SGC and I had a deal at one point. And then also I was negotiating a deal with AGS. I didn't like the terms of their offer, so I turned it down. But so no, I don't actually get paid to promote them. I'm just somebody who's been in the hobby for a long time, and I'm very passionate about the subject of grading. Like, I've graded my own cards before, right? TCC grading, we offered TCC grading for a while. And so I'm very passionate about like the science and the business science of card grading. I just think Tag's got a really cool thing going for them. So it doesn't really matter if I was going to get like some sort of Tag grading deal or not. I was just going to keep grading with Tag. I was just going to keep doing that. You know why? Because I grade with Tag, I grade with BGS, I grade with CGC. I've got a big pile just waiting to go to CGC. You know, a lot of people hate on CGC, not me. I don't care. So I'll grade with CGC. I don't care. And then, of course, I grade an enormous amount of cards with PSA, which has done very well over the years. But because of this deal, I'm getting a little bit better pricing on the Tag slabs. So I'll actually shift a lot of cards away from PSA and into Tag. If PSA wants, they could also offer me a slightly better deal on the price of the grading, or they can match the deal. I don't care what they want to do, but they probably would never reach out to me. I don't think PSA gives a crap about all that. So, you know, the fact that a company like Tag will go through the extra trouble of doing that, good on them. That's part of the game, you know, is to get people who like to grade into your group, and that's what they're doing. Did you open your own grading company once and it flopped, says Zard Life? So Zard Life, you're definitely somebody who knows who I am. You're coming in here to talk trash on Tag, and I think you're trying to now trying to like ask a rhetorical question or something like that. With Cardconomist grading, we graded 10,000 cards. And then unfortunately, the guy who was helping me with the encapsulation, he ended up not being so great. So, and I, you know, that's not my choice. That was his choice. And so after he was gone, we got a lovely replacement, Miss Alexis, but she does not have the same passion on card grading and encapsulation as I do. So she does the shipping and she does a wonderful job. And for a little while, I've done all of the Cardconomist grading and encapsulating. But now I have this deal with Tag grading, and I go, well, let's just focus on that. We got a nice price going on, and we got a nice thing going on. Besides, it's just more time effective that way. You know, for me to do all the encapsulation myself, it's not as good of a use of my time. In the future, I think after Karis and I move and we're very settled in, and I think by then we'll have a website and it'll be a really nice thing. I think we'll consider hiring a new person to do encapsulations again, because I don't think I can ever talk Alexis into doing it. It's like a certain kind of job, you know. I almost want to say it's like a dirty job almost, you know. It's like you get this loud machine and all this stuff. So it's not, you know, it's not a very fun job maybe for girls. So we might hire a new person in the near future to get back to that encapsulating, and you bet your tits we'll have TCC grading again at that point. But right now the incentive's not there because we just got this nice deal going with Tag, and this just seems to be a better setup. It's like it's more strategic, it's more time efficient. All right, but that's the long story. Let's go ahead and get Joshua's name on this bag. Thank you for asking, by the way. I appreciate it. Here you go, Joshua. We're very proud of those 10,000 slabs. That was a really a work of passion. It was a lot of hard work, and I learned a lot about the concept and the philosophy of card grading from that. There you go. Card grading is a philosophy. It's not a science. They use scientific tools to measure a card, but to decide what a good card is, that is a philosophy about what a 10 is, what is a good card. And so I got to learn a lot about that over the years. And, you know, by grading with all four of the grading companies, all the big grading companies, by doing lots of grading with them, buying their services, I've learned a lot from them. I graded cards with TCCG grading, and I graded with 4 companies, and I documented our cross grades, and I've learned so much over the years. I'm really the guy that you would want to have appraise your cards for grading, because I have such a intuitive, mind for it. After so many years, 7 years, after so many years of experience, I have a really, really good intuition and a really long, like, mind for it at this point, like a mind that has like a history of it memorized. So I'm very passionate about it. I remain passionate about it. And it's just this thing I really love. That's also why when I get a chunk of cash, I go out and I buy myself a card, because I just love collecting. So we got this nice Tyranitar recently. Beautiful. All right, maybe you worked at BGS or PSA and trained with them. That's right. With all your experience with grading, which company would you say is the best grading company? Oh, that's such a great question, by the way. And again, this is probably why I would be interested in maybe one day writing a book about this subject. But so that's a question that probably looms on a lot of people's minds. And the answer isn't as simple as just saying PSA is the best. It's not necessarily the best. It depends on what your card is destined to become. So you might be holding on to a black label card in your hand and you just don't know it. And then you send it to PSA and it gets a 10. You think you've done well. You haven't. You've actually lost out on a lot of money, because it was meant to go to BGS and turn into a black label. So, deciphering cards based off of their ability for these super high-end grades, it's a really important part of grading, pre-grading, I should say. And then with PSA, they have certain rules about things that they allow through as a 10 versus other companies. Like you might understand like the half dots, you might understand the centering on the front and the back, you might understand textured cards and how they allow lines through the center of the textured card. So there's a lot of small rules. Think of it like a grading rubric that every company has. And as you sort of pick up on patterns of the grading rubric of each company, when you get a card, you can look at it and say, you know what? I think this card has a better shot at a 10 with tag. I think this card has a better shot at a 10 with PSA. I bet this card has a better shot at a 10 with BGS. Or I better not send this card to BGS at all, because it's just going to turn into a 9.5, that kind of stuff, right? So as you memorize that, you can start looking at your cards and sending them to the right place all the time. Now, a lot of the time, PSA is perfectly fine for a whole bunch of cards. Excuse me. But there will be some cards that will be better sent off to like CGC, right? Like maybe you get a card that consistently fails an attempt at cross grading with like PSA. Well, I would try like CGC then, because CGC's Gem 10 is just it's a lower quality 10 than the other companies. You have a better shot at reaching it. How much would you charge for me to take a look at my cards to tell me what would be good to grade? I got about 200 cards to potentially grade. Yeah, that's something we've done in the past. It's called like a, what did he call that? Card appraisal. That's what that is. It's a card appraisal. It's when you send in a lot of cards and I appraise them. I don't really have a specific price for that, because it depends on how deep you want to go. Do you want me to just sort through them between good and bad? Or do you want me to actually stop and take a look at them and grade them and say, like, this is a 9, this is an 8, this is a 10? So it really depends on how much work do you want done on those. But you could actually hire me to do that with a group of cards. The only tricky part, you'd have to mail them in to me, and then I would have to mail them back to you when you're done. Do you use tag more than others? That's a fantastic question, Vince. So in the past, I would grade about 200 tag cards per month. Now we're going to do about 500. So that's more than double the amount. So yeah, we've been selling tags since, really kind of became a viral thing on the internet. But I've been selling more PSA than that for much longer than that. Now, the difference is, since it's shifting toward tag, I won't have as many PSA slabs, but we're still going to have them. You'll see PSA slabs come in. All right. The problem is, if I grade too much too fast, I'm going to run through my capital, and I'm not going to be able to flip all those slabs at once. It's just, there's a point where I'll have a backlog. It'd just be this crazy backlog, which having a backlog of slabs is good as long as the market's going up. If the market's going down, you do not want a backlog of slabs. So that is the tricky part of that equation. And I know it's all fun and games when the market's going to the moon. When that market has a nosedive, which it could eventually, and it probably will eventually, when it does a nosedive, all that extra inventory is going to hurt, because it's not appreciating inventory, it's depreciating inventory. And instead of having depreciating inventory, I could have made payments on my home or some other debt, So it's during a bad downward cycle, it's better to be careful with your money and potentially, depending on how long that downward market will last, how long it's going to continue to go down, it's better to instead make payments on your debt. So if you've got debt, you can focus on that for a little while until the time is right to start buying at the bottom of the market, which is really hard to predict. Here's Hitmonchan. Yeah, trying to time the market's not it's not something you're going to be able to do super good. We don't have crystal balls that tell us exactly when to buy and when to sell. All right, a lot of those PSA cards you have for sale, PSA will pay you instantly for them at up to 100% market value. Really? I've heard that PSA has a thing where they want to sell your cards for you on eBay. I've heard of that, but I don't know. I've never heard of that where you're saying that they will pay for them in full. I would be a bit surprised at that if that was true. So here's Hitmonchan base set, Japanese. The market can remain irrational longer than you can remain solvent. Who knows? But yeah, we're grading a lot right now. And it's a good time to be grading a lot because we're heading toward the most important month of all, which is January. January is a very important time of the year. We are heading toward it. All right, we've got a Hitmonchan for about $28. 28? Dude, that's cheap. Oh, heck, let's just put this up in here. I'm going to just write, I'm going to round it to 30, make it easy. Let's round that to 30 and let's get that in the Poke Shuffle. I like the vintage cards in the Poke Shuffle. It makes a Poke Shuffle feel nice. I like that. That's 5, right? 6. Machamp is overpriced because Mr. doesn't want to sell it. That's right. I don't actually want to sell that Machamp. He is priced to hold, not to sell. He is a nice tag slab. There might not be another one of those out there. So if you specifically are a guy who wants to collect tag, that is a really good specimen. 107 Hitmonchan 4.5. Why is my pastor asking for money 10 minutes after saying it's the root of all evil? And how did he afford to get a mansion built? Yeah, it's a big thing, isn't it? You see that a lot in religion. It's not specific to your pastor. You get a lot of pastors who are up there. They got slick tongues, and they go, "Oh yeah, put the money in the basket for Jesus." And with some churches, this seems very sincere. They do a lot of community work. They help the poor. They do charity work, and they run shelters and food banks. But then sometimes you get a pastor who just seems kind of selfish. Like he starts dressing real weird, just like Jesus would have wanted, right? He starts getting into fashion. And there's a point where the fashion gets almost like at a rock star celebrity level, and it just starts to look real weird. Real weird. All right, so this poor ball toy. Perfect law given to imperfect man. Whatever you think, but you get these pastors who they start spending lavish amounts of money on themselves, and it just does not sound or feel or look Christian to me. It just doesn't. The priests in the Catholic Church, they are in these big lavish churches, right? Often maybe like a cathedral. But the priests themselves, they live a life of they're like poor. They're like destitute. They get a couple shoes, a couple robes, maybe they get like a little bishop ring or something like that, and then they don't do much. They're not allowed to marry. They're not allowed to own very much. They don't play Xbox all day or anything like that, right? They don't got like a Lamborghini. And if they ever did, they would get in trouble with the church. They'd be like, "Hey, what are you doing?" So they live very, ooh, man, I love the, look at this pattern on the holographic. I'm sad this got a 9, by the way. Why'd this get a 9? You can tell there's centering on top to bottom. That's no good. But what about the back? So is it really just the centering, top to bottom centering that cost us to get a 9? See, this is an example of a borderline card. Yeah, those Catholic priests, man, they live really boring lives. There we go. But you see some of these wealth pastors, and they come out, and they're like, "Yeah, I need to buy another jet airplane." You're like, what the fuck? Okay, you ready? Defect on this card. The centering. was 53 to 47, which I suppose is too off-centered. It doesn't allow it. Wow, they're real strict. Because when you eyeball this, it doesn't look that bad. Are you sure it's not top to bottom? Let me look at this. It's saying the centering is too bad on this to become a 10. See, a card like this makes me want to send it off to PSA and just see what happens with it. And, you know, the irony is if PSA is the nicer grader, that means that when you're grading cards, it will be scary to grade with tag. But if you're buying cards, that's a different story. If you're buying cards, it's not as scary to buy a tag slab because you know that their grading standard is so dang high. It looks left heavy. Does it really, though? That looks pretty freaking clean, man. They said that this is off-center. Now, top to bottom looks off-center. You see that? So the top line's thin. I don't know. It's a reverse hollow, and it's a Dusclops. I'm going to let it ride. Let's just go ahead and sell it as a 9. I really like Dusclops. I'm a Dusclops fan. But the problem is there's not a lot of good priced... there's not a lot of good vintage Dusclopses to collect. I've already got the best one. And so there's not a lot left for me to work on when it comes to Dusclops. I mean, I could just buy more of the same Dusclops. I don't really need to do that. Too skinny on the top. That's why I'm thinking 2. All right. Beautiful. It's 3:24. There are no orders in the queue currently. Out here playing Quake with the collar on. Oh, yeah? The shock collar? Okay, let's see. You can go to your PSA app and type in your cert number into the search, and it will show your grade, and then it will give you an instant offer on your card. I've never heard about that. Let's just see. PSA acting as a market. I feel like that's a conflict of interest. Here we are. So you said go to your PSA app, type in your cert number into the search. Okay, let's see, search a card. Let's try Tyranitar, 91814425. Okay, search. All right. So, PSA estimates this is a $13,000 card. Ah, right there, look. Here's what he's talking about. So the PSA estimate is $13,000 and they're offering $11,700. That's scary. PSA is acting as a market too. I feel like that breaks the wall between third-party grader and, you know, seller. It's a bit strange. That what someone asked earlier. They hold a grading sales market and middleman with GameStop. Yeah, I don't know what to think about that. By the way, I bought it for $14,000. So if they got it for me from $11,700, and then they managed to also sell it for like $14,000 or $15,000, they could make pretty quickly a significant profit on buying that card for me. So I don't know how to feel about that. That's very fascinating, though. We are. They partnered with GameStop for mystery packs on an app. Conflict of interest. It does feel a little bit like a conflict of interest, doesn't it? I suppose they can do it, but yeah, they should. I feel like PSA probably should never be in the business of selling or buying cards. They're supposed to be seen as sort of like an impartial third party that grades cards. So now they're interested in the market, and I feel like that's good perhaps for them making more sales, but it's not good for them looking impartial. Here's Alex Lopez. You run a grading company and sell cards too. Yeah, I agree, but we're really small, and I don't really sell them very often. Actually, the only ones I've sold are a couple abandoned ones, and I also sell signatures. So what I can do is I can sign a card, and then what I can do after I sign it is I can say in the grade, I can say A for authentic. Actually, I think I have an example of that nearby. Let me show you. So this was the real reason we created Cardconomist grading. Here we go. This is a perfect example. So that's a Cardconomist card. You'll notice it's got our beautiful branding up here with the label. The design of the label is really nice. It actually reminds you of the Game Economist if you were spending any time over there, because that's our font and everything. And what's going on here, this is my wife's drawing. She has a surgery in a couple hours. It's really scary. This is my wife's drawing, and we've taken her drawing and encapsulated it. We don't assign a real grade to it. We say A for authentic, and it is authentic. I'm putting my, seal of approval on it, is what it is. So you can rest assured this really is one of her drawings, and we've authenticated it now. So I don't really think it's that big of a conflict of interest to sell this at this point. That was the whole reason we formed the grading company, was to be able to do this and to be able to sell signatures in particular. If you recall, if you remember me from all the way back then, because I suspect you know a little bit about me, the whole reason we put that grading company together was to be able to sell signatures, and that was because PSA refused to authenticate my signature, and that annoyed me. And then after PSA refused to do it, CGC did it one time, but the second time they said, wait a second, we don't do this. So they actually authenticated one of my signatures, just one, and Alex sits on it. Alex owns that signature. He bought it probably for like, I don't know how much he bought it for back in the day, but he bought it for a little bit, and he owns it. God bless her and your family, mister. I just found out my mom has cancer last week. Pretty effing lame. Oh, man, I hate to hear that. You will find, Mr. Doghouse, there's a couple people in our group that also are dealing with health issues, including, I know for a fact, one person is dealing with cancer right now. And for me and my wife, what's going on, she has an issue that requires surgery in order for her to have a chance at having children. So she's going through a tricky surgery, and it's not a very well-known surgery, but she's going through a tricky surgery to be able to have children. And if the surgery goes poorly, she might not be able to have children. So it's stressful. It's stressful, but we're hoping it all goes really well. But as you get closer to the actual surgery, you realize this is a really big deal, because it's either going to go well and you can have kids, or it's going to go poorly and you can't. So it's a really important moment, and the odds are in our favor. But the tough part is it's not a for sure thing. It's actually a risky thing. So it's not a for sure thing that'll go correctly. We'll find out. All right. Alex owns the Shuckle. Shuckle is underrated. Zard says, but you're not famous. Why would PSA authenticate your signature? No disrespect, but they don't even authenticate King Pokemon. I don't really care if PSA thinks I'm famous or not. I had a really big following on my other YouTube channel. The Game Economist had 130,000 subscribers. We had a lot of people. We had 40,000 people in Discord. And I wanted to be able to sort of maybe do a signature and be able to sell them a Monster Hunter card. And then over here, we were building a group too. So maybe I kind of get what you're saying. You're saying that I'm not important enough for PSA to consider, learning about my signature. But in my mind, I'm important to me, and that's what keeps me moving all day long. I don't wait for somebody else to tell me, hey, you made it. I don't wait for that. So look what I did. I took my cash and I created a system for encapsulating cards all on my own. I didn't wait for PSA, and that is why I'm successful. This thing right in front of you is almost like a telltale sign of somebody who's highly motivated. I put all this together. It was really difficult. And I did all that just because I wanted to be able to sell my signature if I felt like it. And I didn't have to do it, and it cost me a lot of money to do. And again, that's just, you don't have to wait for PSA to approve of you or some other company, like there's some sort of lord over you and you're their serf. You can go, think about the guy who put it together, what was the name of that famous circus? Barnum and Bailey's or something like that. Remember that guy, the greatest showman on earth? He didn't wait for anybody to put something together for him, or to agree with him on it, or to declare that he had a great circus. What was that called? Barnus or something like that? But so when I discovered that normal people like myself don't get to have their signature authenticated by PSA, I said, I'll authenticate my signature with TCC grading. And then I went out and I did it. Okay. So I think that that's actually really cool. I went out and I did it. I did not wait. I went out and did it. And I think you can try to make me feel bad about it and say, oh, you're not famous or whatever you might be thinking. Hey, this guy sells a signature. What a crazy guy. But I'm never going to actually feel sad or guilty over something like that. I actually, I'm proud of it. And it wasn't very easy at all. And like I said, we actually got about 10,000 cards graded. I don't know how many still exist. Perhaps some of the best ones got cross-graded. I hope not. But just to make sure that they didn't all get cross-graded, I actually bought some of them back off the market. I paid full price off of eBay for them. I bought them back off the market to make sure they didn't all get cross-graded. Let me show you. So these will stay with me. These won't be for sale. Where would I place these? Hold on. Suppose I gotta locate them first. We got so many cards these days. See, here are some of them, but where are the rest of them? Maybe I just show you these. I know there's more though. They're back here. Now those are those. Oh, here they are. All right, give me a second. I got so many that I have 2 boxes of them. But again, 10,000 cards. This doesn't scratch the surface of all the work we did. Right, so this is just whatever it is, like 30 slabs out of 10,000. But we ran out of room. If Mr. has anything against it, he would have done it himself, but it got Mr. talking, so it's okay. Here's Starmie. Here's a square cut Ampharos. Espeon VMAX. D-Piece Chansey. This was like a really special time period, so it's fun to own it. Dark Gyarados, Radiant Charizard, Cloud of Darkness, Legend of Zelda 8. A couple of these, okay. All right. We also sell a couple Cardconomist grades that were abandoned. We are. Boba Fett. That was the first one I ever bought back from somebody. Look at the cert number of 102. I paid a really high price for it, too. I bought it from Casey Fjellstead for $200. I bought it back from him. Articuno, Dragonite, this Blastoise. He was bought a long time ago. This one was gifted to me by Joey Albrecht. He's a moderator now. Joseph Albrecht gifted that to me in 2021. Here's a Lugia. Oh, wow, that's really cool, man. This guy was not that expensive back then. So I must have bought this too, and this is really expensive. Now that's like a $2,000 card in a PSA 10. So on a TCC graded 10 probably won't sell for anything like that, but maybe it would get a little bit close. There's a Dratini, here's an Umbreon, here's a Iron Crown that I actually ran over. One booster pack fell on the floor, and I ran over it with my chair, and it had an SAR in it. Unbelievable. Red and Blue, Nidoking, Espeon. I show this from time to time. I show off this box. We got this Mew. I remember somebody got this graded, and then he traded it back to me because he didn't want it, because he wanted girl cards. He wanted girl cards. So he traded that back to me and used a store credit. Same here. I bought this from... Who did I buy this from? I bought this from... wasn't Jonathan Morris. Where is he? I wish he would come back. I haven't seen him in a little while. $230 purchased on 12/23. What was his name? His name's on the tip of my tongue. I know he's still selling some of these too. Here we are. I gotta get better at memorizing names. Here's Galarian Moltres and Houndour. Here we are. All right. So here's Larvitar Tyranitar. Here's Roronoa Zoro. Here's Rayquaza V and Rayquaza VMAX. Some beautiful cards here. Actually, these are pretty exciting, aren't they? Look at that. Graded all the way back in 2021. Cert number 253 and 254. Unbelievable. Back then, they just weren't worth that much. All right, we got a woman. And here's Diglett, and here's Rocket's Moltres, and here's Raichu. All right, very nice. And here's... These are really special. These were when the TCCG grading was being put together. So this was technically the first slab we ever encapsulated. It was really exciting. It was really crazy when it happened. This shows off a layer of testing on the labels. And I believe I graded this soon after. Yeah, look at this old design back here. So I made a Your Mom card, first edition, and encapsulated it to show off what we could do And it was just really fun, like 420. So it was really fun to do that. So cool. All right. You're thinking about Jonathan Morris. Is that what I said already? No, because I said Joseph Jones, didn't I? I think I said Joseph Jones. Joseph Jones, Jonathan Morris. Joseph Jones, Jonathan Morris. Joseph Jones actually popped in the other night and said hi. I wonder how life's going for him. I hope it's going well. I haven't seen Jonathan Morris in a while. I got to invite him to come back. Come back and hang out. All right, there we go. Remind me of Casey Kasem. I think he was a radio host in New York. I remember it from Ghostbusters, but he reminded me of his voice. Oh, really? So there's that box. There was a second box with just a couple cards in it, but I think we already looked at those, right? Yeah, we did. Okay. I'm going to go put these away. I'm very proud of all the work we got done. And for now, Cardconomist grading is paused. All right, Cardconomist grading is on pause because we've got a great contract going with Tag where we get a lot of cards graded with them at a fast pace. They grade them fast for us and a slightly better price. We are. So we'll focus on that for a while, and that's our thing for now. Look at this. Cute. Okay, you ready? So we do still have a couple cards left to price up, like this one. Here's Raltz, the Old Blade movie. What kind of movies do you like, says Felix. Ooh, that's a great question. I don't know, Felix. I have trouble watching movies. I really struggle to enjoy stories. I like video games a lot more. Video games and video game mechanics get me really excited. But like a movie with like emotions and characters trying to talk about their issues, I get bored from that really fast. Mainly because I can usually predict what's going to happen. So I get really bored because I know what's going to happen. If there was like a Cliff Notes version of the story, I would just read the Cliff Notes and then I'd be done with it. I'd be like, boom, done, out of here. Here it is. The Tism Talk. This is the Tism Talk. Thank you. Welcome. No, but it's true. My mom didn't like to watch movies, and when I was young, I always thought that was really crazy of her. And she was kind of a crazy person. She was really crazy. I swear she had like OCD or something. She had something going on with her, and she was like a perfectionist. And I thought she was odd for not watching movies when I was young. Now I'm older, and I totally get it. It's like, man, these movies, half the time, you can tell exactly how it's going to go, how it's going to end. I know what it wants me to feel. I don't feel like being dragged that direction. I'm not going to be in my feels. And then, you know, you just know how it's going to end. And then it ends that way. And then you go, all right, why am I watching this? You know, you end up realizing it's not that enjoyable, not that entertaining. Here we are. Ooh. All right, beautiful Gengar, dude. Too bad he's a little bit pricey, but I have a feeling he's going to sell. All right. Let's grab this. Let's grab this. Let's grab this. Okay. Place this over here. Let's see. I was the guy that was searching for error Dragonite information that ended up finding a box with 13 errors in a single box. Oh, I remember. You left a negative feedback on my channel. I didn't like that. I thought that was very nasty, by the way. Assuming that's you, actually. Your members were a-holes to me in your Discord talking about my feet. I didn't know any of that happened. Mrs. favorite movie is Click because he loves to fast forward. That's my favorite movie. It's Mr. Grey Wolf. What's up, Mr. Ray Bull? How's it going, man? Mr. Have a seen Human Centipede. I highly recommend. It's a great novel about human perseverance and the will to survive. We talked about the Human Centipede the other day. Yeah, we did like a review of all the scary movies. Actually, the #1 show on Netflix right now is what was it, Ed Gein or something like that? The story of the man who all these other scary movies are based off of, it turns out. He was some major serial killer out in like Wisconsin on some farm. And how many women did he kill? Was it like 40? And he was making like human skin suits and all this really crazy stuff. And so all these scary movies were actually inspired by this one nutty dude. He was so crazy. They didn't put him in jail in the death sentence system. They put him in like a loony bin. So they put him to the crazy house because they thought he was just absolutely crazy. And it was shocking. The more I don't want to go into all the graphic details, but he did some horrifying things. And so some classic scary movies, they're all just based off of this one scary guy. We got actually 2 of these Tyrannotars. Look at that. Join me, buddy. There it is. Zard Life says, I've been following your life since. Well, I hope maybe you don't harbor as many bad feelings over the years. I thought that the whole argument on eBay was pretty poor. You know, something about Pokemon cards brings out the ego in people, myself included. So, you know, if you get into an argument with me, I can get all heated and I might have said earlier, grumpy. So sometimes I get grumpy, but yeah, you know, a lot of Pokemon cards bring out a lot of ego in people. We are. All right. Zard would leave a negative comment. He's blanking been negative Nancy all night. Well, he and I got into some really angry arguments on eBay. And you know how it is. You get into an argument. You try to win. You know, you try to come out on top. So it's kind of like that. So I don't know. We are. All right. Let's grab this. Yeah, in that time period, by the way, I remember that time period because I was buying a lot of high-end Rocket Returns cards at the time. So I would open up my eBay and see that little, you know, conversation going on. And I would be busy. I actually remember exactly what I was buying in that time period. You want to know what I was buying? Rocket Scyther, Rocket Scizor, the triple birds, Articuno, Zapdos, and Moltres. So I was buying all those Rocket Return cards at that very moment. So I was spending more time on eBay than usual. Ooh, look at that. Tell me which... I was mad at your community for being jerks. Now, see, I can only control the whole community so much. That's something I tend to tell people is, you know, if you want to get along with people, you got to get them on your side. And I can only do so much to help you get them on your side. I can't do that on my own. Look at this. There's that Dragonite, by the way. So, Mr. Zardlife, this Dragonite is still one of my favorite cards. I could tell you I was offered a very good deal on him in private earlier this year. I guess I don't want to disclose the number because I don't want to limit how much somebody else offers me because they hear someone else's offer. But before the release of Glory of Team Rocket, somebody said, I know you're one of the guys with the Dark Dragonite, and he wanted to offer me a really good chunk of money, and he seemed sincere. And I, you know, listened to him because I wanted to hear how far he would go. So he made a real nice offer on this, but I can't let it go. We bought this from Von Doom on 2022. He was the guy who originally pulled it. And this was before Karis and I moved to our second, you know, the second time we moved. So we moved and I was saving up money to move, but he came to me and he was also moving. And so I made an offer, $16,000 on this guy and snatched him, which I thought, you know, $16,000 seemed about right at the time, but you know, it's Pokemon card hobby is doing well over time. You know, it's doing real well over time. So this card ended up being a really special card in the collection, and we have that nice video of us pulling it. So I'm still very passionate. He's probably my top card. This Dragonite's probably still my top card. I don't know if he's the top card by value. There's so many cards now. I don't really know what my top value card is. Actually, this Tyranitar we just acquired, he's one of my favorite artworks of all time. When I was a kid, I was so passionate about this one card. I never pulled it, sadly. I wish I had, but I pulled a Shining Kabutops, and then I gave up collecting because my last friend who was collecting, he also gave up. He had a Shining Celebi, and I had the Shining Kabutops. It was just such a nice period, but there was nobody left to trade or collect with, and then it died off, you know. Wish I had my original folder of cards. It kind of really bothers me that my family sold that. Didn't give me any of the money from it. Didn't bother asking if I wanted them back. They just sold them. So crappy. So, I don't know. That's exactly how it was at home. Just like that. Just because, of course, that's what they would have done. It's so bitter, dude. Such a bitter thing. But I guess it's okay in the end. I got some nice cards, you know. I don't know, blocking people and talking doesn't sound like you want friends. Buddy, tell me which game you love to play the most of all times, says Mr. Raybolt. Hey, so Mr. Raybolt, did you hear about all that news over in Palestine? They released the hostages. A bunch of Palestinians were freed. What do you think of that? Are you happy about that? I was really happy about that. I hope that the peace is lasting, and that I know there's a lot of hatred and anger on both sides, but I hope they choose to let it go and move on and become a more modern society and just live peacefully with each other. But so the hostages were free today. It was a really big thing. And I know that's kind of closer to your region than to mine, but you know, it's in all the news. We're all watching it. I saw that airplane, the U.S. president's airplane coming in with the escort from the Egyptian fighter planes and the Qatari fighter planes. Man, that was cool as hell, dude. That was extremely cool. That was today, guys. The war over there is hopefully over, but it's probably a very fragile piece. It could start up very easily. Here's Luke Charlton. He says, Prismatic PC. Yes, let's go get it. All right. So Prismatic PC. He must mean the UPC, right? He says, yes, I'm happy. As for which game I would like to play the most, I was playing a lot of Night Rain, but I didn't like the new mode they brought out, so I quit playing that. I was playing Elden Ring Night Rain. Pretty soon, I'm going to play Pokemon Legends CA. I hope it's good. I hope it's good. It looks promising so far. I actually like the new designs. All right, here we go. We've got this beautiful thing. Oops. So you're talking about this, right? This guy right here? We're going to open this up for him. It's one of my favorite items on the menu right now. I think it offers a lot of value. Okay. My mate's got that first edition in English. Keep telling him to get it graded. Yeah? I like this Minecraft music. So calming. All right, here's this. And here's this. Yeah, those error Dragonites are pretty interesting. So far, there's only been the same number of 10s this whole time. And so I feel like as a result of that, the fact that nobody seems to pull any new 10s ever, I think that the value on them should have moved up because it's such a rare error. And it's been documented too now, which makes it more exciting in a certain way. Go. I remember back in the day, when my channel was really small, my Pokemon card channel anyways, back when it was real small, I remember I used to watch TCA Gaming, and he would talk all the time about wanting to pull that Dragonite. He wanted to pull the Error Dragonite, and I would watch him, and it was so nostalgic watching him open those rocket packs. It got me really excited, because I was like, man, I remember that when I was a kid. And he would always say, okay, today we're hunting for the Error Dragonite, and he wouldn't pull it. And I would think about it. And then much later, we're just randomly opening a box, and it happens to have that Dragonite in it. But it didn't just have Dragonite, it had the Charizard too. And so I still think to this day, that's the most famous pack of Team Rocket, and how fitting it's my favorite card set. And I pulled, and it was just luck, right? Like, I don't get to choose my fate when it comes to luck, but it just happened to be luck that we got probably the most famous pack of Team Rocket first edition opened ever, with Charizard and Dragonite in it together, the Error Dragonite. I really think that was, I don't know, I've never had anything like that happen since then, you know? I haven't had anything that crazy happen since then. So that was a lucky thing, and definitely something to be remembered. The original OG Doom and Sega Genesis. Pop 5 chase card and $10 million card by the end of our lifetime. I don't know if it'll be a $10 million card. That sounds like a lot. Maybe when I'm almost dead, it'll cost a lot. I don't know. You know, as time goes on, all the cards seem to get more expensive as people appreciate them as a more established thing to hold and to value. but also just inflation, right? Like people get paid more, the value of the dollar goes down. So as a result, the price of the goods look like they're more expensive, but it's actually just because the dollar's not as valuable. So, you know, these cards just get more and more expensive over time. And you never know. Maybe I'll need cancer treatment one day and I'll let the world know I need to sell my card. And at that point, I will post them for sale. Okay, that's how I plan on paying for my healthcare needs, is I'm probably going to sell a lot of my cards at that point. Here's Slow King. Ooh, look at that Slow King. Beautiful. There we go. Okay. How rare are the Japanese versions? The Japanese versions of what, if you don't mind me asking? Let me hit play on this. All right, this, by the way, is for Luke Charlton. Thank you so much, Mr. Luke Charlton. Appreciate it, man. There's that Dusclops again, but he looks so much better in the Shrouded Fable version. So interesting. Maybe I should open up some Shrouded Fable. Size doesn't matter, mister. Keep your head up. We are. I think I made Mr. mad. No, you definitely didn't make me mad. Did you say something? I don't know what you mean by that. I don't know if you think you said something. Here we are. If you said something that was supposed to make me mad, I didn't see it. Here's Jolteon. Ooh. Beautiful. Very nice. I'm Sura A. Perez. It's Les C. Hey, what's up, Les C? How's it going, man? All right. We've got Dracloak Ogerpon. Ooh, how nice. Ooh. Here's... Oh, Vaporeon. Very pretty. Wow. And Applin and the Water Energy. Ooh. Where is the God Pack? One God Pack, please. Here's Amariz and Terrapagos. Ah. How's your day going? It's all right. It's been better. The whole my wife's having a surgery in just a couple hours here, so I'm just thinking about that a lot mostly. When it's over, and assuming it goes very well, I will be right back to being normal again. I'll feel perfectly fine again, but for right now, it's just a real tense moment for me. We are. Here's Executor. Ooh. All right. And Pinsir Noctowl. I've heard some horror stories about this particular surgery and how it can not go the way it's meant to go. So it's not without any risks. Here's Sylveon and Ogerpon. All right, so there we have it. No SIR. Dang, dude, I didn't even see a Master Ball come out. Hope she okay. Who's having surgery? So my wife's having a surgery that deals with issues of infertility. And this surgery could fix it. She has a structural problem, but it's a bit more complex than that. It's not just like a structural problem. It's you know, there's something called endometriosis, and it's developed like some sort of complex kinds of cysts, and those have to be removed, and it's going to be a tricky surgery. And the surgeon's like, I can do it, I got the skill. He's like, let me do it. And so we're going to let him do it. You know, but it has to be done, or she's not, you know, she can't get the IVF treatment even. We are, unless this particular surgery goes through. Here's Executor, Applin, Vaporeon, Dracloak, Jolteon. If it goes poorly, it's a really bad thing if it goes poorly. Slow King. And so he's like, yeah, it's like 1 in 1,000 odds that it goes bad. Like, all right. I'm so reassured now. There we go. Only 1 out of every 1,000 girls suffers catastrophic, you know, wounds down there. Oh, okay. Well, okay. We won't be the one. So, you know, it's just sort of this stressful thing. Once you get real close to it, once it becomes really real, it's actually really stressful. We are. It's going to be over. It'll be over in like 8 hours, and then I can stop thinking about it. Well, not really, because I don't think you truly know if it went well or not till a little bit later. So we won't know how well it went till a bit later. Like, what I'm trying to say is, at least immediately after the surgery's over, he can talk about how he thinks it went, but it has to heal for a while too. Okay, what do you do with the extra cards? Mister, I just finished my workout. Good for you, man. Good for you. I need to get back to my workout. You know, I had a good routine going, and I kind of broke it. I'm off the horse, guys. I got to get back on the horse. So I got to get back to being healthy. What's the success rate? You know what? It's basically in this field of medicine that is sort of like being learned about still and debated on how to treat problems of infertility. And so this particular surgery is not performed by all IVF places because they don't have the experience or the surgeon who can do it. And we happen to live, I did not know this, next to an extremely good IVF surgeon who is doing the actual surgery. Missouri actually has one really good college. It's WashU, and it's a medicine college, and I believe that's where he's from. So he lives out here, and we're going to be having that just in like an hour and a half from now, or maybe it's about, what time is it? 4? It is about an hour and a half from now. So actually, we should wrap up. So that's for Mr. Luke. All right. Yeah, it's easy for me because it's not even happening to me, but it's like, man, it's stressful, man. It's stressful. How much good cards do you have? I do have some good cards. I have a 1, a 2, a 3. 3 good cards. Let's give out this free card right over here. Let's see. Yeah, it's a little nerve-wracking. Ready? Okay, Mr. Mitz is going on. Ooh. So this will be 12, Mr. Mitz. Number 13, we got... Yeah, I'll let you guys know because I'm going to bring my laptop with me. I'll be waiting for the outcome. We are. I'll be at the hospital. When's the surgery? Like in the next hour and a half. Starts really soon. So I got to wrap up here. Here's Vishal. All right. I can either drop her off and come back here, or I can stay in the hospital. So I'll have to decide which of those two things to do. But I think the actual surgery lasts a long time. Okay. So I got to get the house ready. Lurkin Lowry. Okay. Oh. All right. So let's go ahead and roll it. Let's see who's got it. Okay, you ready? So that's landing on 11, which is BS80 grip. BS80 grip. That's a Blake, right? All right, let's see. I think that's Blake, right? That's Blake, right? I recommend being at the hospital just because then she knows you're there. Yeah, although she will be asleep, so she won't actually know if I'm there. We are. All right. Let's grab this. Ready? But I'll be picking her up either way. Pretty sure that's Blake. He had a really lucky night. He sniped that Pikachu off of $30, which he didn't even pay. He traded in a bag full of cards that will probably not grade 10. It's actually a pretty sweet deal. And then he picks up the free card at the end. He's doing real well. Here it goes. How many children do you want? If we're being realistic, I would be happy enough just to have 2 children, because Karis and I are 2 people. So if you have 2 children, that's basically what replaces you. I'm not close-minded to having more than 2 children, though. I'm very open-minded to having multiple children. Here we are. All right. Very nice. Yeah, I'm really fascinated by the idea of having maybe a lot of children and finding some way to do that, so to speak. Okay, so I've spent a lot of my early part of my life just building up wealth, I suppose. And so now in the later half of my life, I could definitely try to have lots of children. That's why we got to move to Saudi Arabia. Lucas Lange, 2 Inferno, 2 Mega Brave, 2 Pokey Shuffles. Here we go. Okay. 2 Mega Brave, 2 Infernos, and 2 Pokey Shuffles. You got it. Saudi Arabia. Ready? All right, 1, 2, 3. 1, 2. Very nice. See, if my dad had 11 kids, I got to have 12 to beat him. Oh, Bulbasaur. Look at that. That's pretty good. Let's go find that Bulbasaur. I put a star on that. I don't know what that means. Is it this one? Looks like it's this one. Ta-da! All right, congratulations on your hot Pokey Shuffle. Yeah, the Pokey Shuffles are good, guys. Look at that. Beautiful. One of the better cards to pull out of there, actually. Beautiful. Good. Okay, let's test these packs. Let's get them open. Boy, we sold a whole stack of slabs. They're right next to me. Bunch of those slabs sold. Okay, lovely. All right. Ready? We've got Ice Cube Meganium and Gimme Ghoul Firo Hariyama. Look at that Hariyama. Okay. Bazoop. 404. This is the last order of the night, guys. Ah, Toxtricity. Very nice. That is the last order of the night. The giveaway has been handed out. And now, next time you guys hear from me, probably just later today, in fact, we will know the outcome of the surgery. So wish us luck. Hopefully very good. We can celebrate if it goes good, okay? So I'll see you guys presumably for the Tuesday daytime stream. I don't think I'll miss the daytime stream. I don't think I will because this is occurring so early in the morning. All right, so I'll see you then for Tuesday. See you later, everybody.